Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday edition of everybody's favorite adult-themed podcast, Gaming After Dark. Yes, it is gaming in primarily, but you never know what's going to go down on this show. One thing that is going to go down on this show is hilarity. Lots of great topics, and of course, one of the best assembled panels that you can find anywhere. I'm referring to the one, the only, the man who brings the common back to sense. Mr. Titan Drago is back in the house.
Yeah, I'm glad this week I finally got a tweet that got some traction, man. It's been a while. I hate it when you go to those lumps and you're tweeting shit out like no one gives a fuck. Damn it. But anyways, what's up, everyone? I'm back from vacation, and man, did I have an amazing time. I got to listen to a lot of podcasts and over that 11-hour drive. So yeah, lots of excitement from E3 still. People are still excited to talk about it, and that's fun because it was such a good show. But I will talk a little bit about that, and and you know what? The one thing to be excited for was, and it was one thing I pointed out, but it's what's here now and what's on the horizon. It seems like they got a slow, steady drip of stuff for us.
Speaking of drips, this show has been sponsored by Titan Drago's Bathtub Bubbly. Get your bottle today, just $5.99. Pubes are extra.
Oh no, it was $50 or best offer.
Oh, that's what that stood for.
Yeah, OBO.
I saw OBO. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Special prize to Doggy Dog, who ordered the first bottle shipped online.
Oh, for sure.
Oh shit. Just kidding. Great stuff. So
I didn't get too many people. I think only had one person ask me why it was green. I sweat green in my bath. That's how much of an Xbox fan I am.
There you go. Some algae growing around your asshole.
Mag's getting turned on over there, ain't it?
Just relax, okay? I got plenty to say about it later.
Hey, Mag, that thing on your chest overloading right now, man?
Yeah, no, not yet.
Titan, he didn't show us the one that's connected to his dick, though, eh? The pulsometer. Shit. Oh, you can tell this show is going to go off the rails in a freaking hurry because, hey, we've been missing for a week, so we've got a lot of pent-up frustration here or something. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a sperm blockage. I don't know. But let's get down to it. Let's get over to our other amazing panel member who's been a very busy man for the past week, appearing on multiple podcasts and chiming in with his E3 input. Hopefully, he'll have a little bit left in the tank to give us right here on Gaming After Dark. And it's the one, the only, the middle-aged game guy.
You're damn right. I still got. Thank you very much, Noof. I still got gas left in the tank. What are you, crazy? Yeah. You know what? I only did 11 podcasts in 14 days. So yeah.
Jesus.
Oh no, dude, it was absolutely crazy. And then the funny thing is, and I love and respect absolutely everybody I do shows with, and people ask me, but I am literally still getting people say, "Hey, can you make my show? Hey, can you make my show?" And I'm like, guys, I really can't. I have so many things to do now, and I'm just almost every night. Even my wife, she's sitting there and she's like, "Another fucking show? What's going on with these?" And I'm just like, honey, I don't know. What can I say? People like me. Anyways,
you went from your wife patting you on the back for doing podcasts and practically slapping you in the face, like, "Get the fuck off that machine."
Oh my God. No, yeah, you know what the funny thing is? She doesn't care that I'm doing it. She's just shocked. You know what I mean? She's just like, "Another one?" And I'm
man, the funniest shit, man. I was listening to the last Crossfire, and it was it had been so long. And me and my wife were because we're driving, and we're like, "Man, has Mag talked yet?" I don't think so. And the hour mark went off.
Yeah, it's about 40 minutes in before you say 3 words.
No, dude, I swear it was 8 because it started at 7 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yeah.
I said my first word at 8:06.
Jesus.
However, I was being respectful, not because of everybody on the panel and everything else, and Mooch and everybody else. It was because Jeff Grubb was on, right? And so Jeff Grubb was on, and there was a couple other dudes that were on, big name dudes, which of course now they escape me. And Mooch was asking them questions. That was great. And then and Brap was in there asking them questions, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to respectfully just hang back a bit. And then I'll chime in after, because these guys were on limited time, right? So Grubb had to leave about 40 minutes in. So I'm like, let them get their bars off.
Yeah.
Say what they got to say, do what they got to do. And I swear to God, at 8:06 on the nose, I'm like, that's it. And then I just went off for 54 straight minutes, right till 9 o'clock. And then actually, what's funny is I ended up bowing out because the show went on for almost 3 hours.
Wow.
And I just had to bow. I'm like, guys, I gotta fucking go, man. I gotta put my kids to bed.
It would have been longer if Poop Man was there, but
yeah. Oh man, it was a hell of it was a marathon. But man, it was a great show. But I had a good time. But anyways, enough of that. We are here.
Yes.
And we are here to talk about whatever we're going to talk about tonight. So let's get right into the show.
And we are here with one of the finest effing chats in the podcast business. Some familiar faces in the house already. Infinite was the first guy in the house. What's going on, brother? Infinite, good to see you here. Doggy Dog is here, and he drops our first super chat of the night. Let me see where it is. $1.99. Good evening, new panel and chat. Thank you, Doggy Dog. Appreciate that. We've also got Rectal Turbulence. I would think used to be Papa Woody. Glad to have some rectal turbulence here. I think maybe all of us are going through that, a little bit of that right now. Let's Phantom Kraken is in the house. Kylo Milo, what's going on? Timothy Dixon, Dre Venero, Casket Repair, Pure Flack Monkey. Scrolling down, we got Axel 1324. My brother is in here. Yeah, good to see Axel. Crispy Rambo, Spider-Man 356. Wouldn't be a podcast, but Spider-Man swinging through the show. Who else we got up in here? Yes, original Next Level Gaming. Our brother Mike Mullis is in the house. What's going on, bro?
Mike Mullet, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, your favorite there, middle-aged game guy, Mr.
No way, he's here. I didn't even see
him. He's there. Yeah.
I just looked down now. Joe Dunmore. All right, he's in the house. Actually, you know what's funny? Almost every show I did, Joe Dunmore was there. I would just look at the chat, and I would just be like, in the middle of something. I look down and I just see Mag written in big capital letters, and I'm just like, holy shit, Joe Dunmore.
I bet he sits there in every podcast now going, Mag, say it. Say it.
I pretty much do. Any chance that I can get, I'm going to scream it out at some point.
Hey, Stinking Corpse is in the house. Now,
no way.
A long time guy. Stinky, good to see you, man. We miss you, bro. I don't see you that much anymore. So, yeah, we got to get him back in the loop, man. Hopefully he can come on and do one of our shows sometime. Be great to have Stinking here. Monster 530 Fastback is in the house. Yes, the doctor's here. I knew I smelled some stink. Toolman 55, Crazy Greek Dude. Iceman, LMH. Iceman, what's going on, bro? Thought you were going to be up for a Need for Speed Hot Pursuit on Saturday. Didn't see you. What's up with that? Who else? Yeah, I think we caught. Oh, Pong Soul. Pong Soul is here.
No way. Pong Soul. Yes, he's the only one who rivals me, dude.
Podcast superstar right there. Pong Soul went from being the backdoor superstar in the chats to fucking he's everywhere now.
He's still a scumbag.
Huh?
He's still a scumbag. Let me tell you something about Pong Soul. Every time I turn on something, Pong Soul is there. I look around, Pong Soul is there. I open the door to my bathroom, Pong Soul is sitting in there. Ridiculous. Pong Soul, get a job. Sorry, Tony is just getting excited. It's been a couple of weeks. No, but seriously, I swear to God, I'm doing all these podcasts, right? And I keep seeing Pong Soul in every other podcast. And I'm like, does this guy fucking sleep? Like, he's on every single show. Like, every single show that's on YouTube. And it's like, all of a sudden, there's Pong Soul again. I'm like, my God, this guy is a fucking marathon runner in the podcast world.
No shit,
dude, kudos to you. I'm just kidding about calling you a scumbag. That was Tony, not me.
And he still gets up on Saturday morning to run that fucking early one there, the living split screen. It still rains. So kudos to him. Yeah, I think the same thing about Mav, too. It's like every fucking time I turn around, Mav's either streaming on a podcast. Like, how many fucking shows does Mav do in a week?
I swear to God, I think he's on like 7 days a week, man.
Man, he's on some kind of fucking podcast crack where your eyelids are pinned open or what? Like, how the fuck do you do it? I don't know. Beats me.
It's like Clockwork Orange with like toothpicks in his eyes as he's like he's streaming Chivalry 2. And he's like, it's been 136 straight hours online. Yeah, so it's like seriously, yeah. But I think it's a race between Fun Speculation and fucking Pong Soul to see who's on YouTube the longest. It's crazy.
I think you're right. Hey, Cool Cat Terry's in the house. Yes, my sister from Good Morning Xbox. We had a dynamite show on Saturday. We had a pretty good turnout too. So kudos there, and kudos to Dreadpool who won the free game Ari. I forget what the other part of that indie is, but it's Ari. It's not Ori, it's Ari, A-R-Y, I think it is. And Dreadpool won a copy of that courtesy of Cool Cat Terry and the Dev. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw the giveaway. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, Predator H2S in the house. What's going on, Pred? Pred's a good guy. We got to get him on the show here sometime. Pred, open invitation, bro. We got to get you on. If you're interested, send me a DM, bro. Got to get you in here. Got to get our MLG brothers back in here again, too. So lots of people we got to get back on here. But today I just wanted to keep it simple. Just me, Meg, and Titan just to get back in the saddle and get this going and keep the show sort of on pace. We're already 11 minutes in. We haven't touched the topic, but we are about to touch it now. So let's get right down into the brass tacks, guys. Quick E3 wrap up. Let's not go through every dynamite little thing, but really between us all here, we'll start with Titan, because Titan, you haven't really had a chance to kind of go off on this stuff. You've been MIA with their holidays and stuff, but like what kind of stood out to you from everything that you saw in the past week or so? What were the top games for you? What were the sort of the highlights or the surprises? And maybe what were some of the things that you just rattle your bones in the wrong type of way?
Well, I'll start with my score. I gave it an 8.8, which was lower than last year's.
That's Microsoft's?
Yes, I like last year's better, but that was because of there was no acquisition on this one. That was the only thing that wasn't there that I wanted to see, was an acquisition of somebody. If they're saving that, good. If they don't have it, then that sucks for me, because that's my favorite type of news. Whenever they acquire a new studio, unlike some people who just throw money at it, ain't gonna work. Fucking bullshit. You throw money at everything, it makes it better. Name me one thing you don't throw money at, it doesn't make it better. That motherfucker. Yeah. I don't even want to get started on that dude. Where was I? E3. But remember I said they needed to drop a game like at the show, Mm-hmm. Did they end up doing that? Or was it like a smaller game maybe? I think I remember something like that. But regardless, it was like the announcement when they said, games are going to be coming bi-weekly in the Game Pass, and then they actually showed you that part. That was like one of my favorite parts of the show. It's letting us know what we're going to get, this and that, and when. That was one of my favorite parts. And that kind of fits that need that I wanted of them, to drop something now so no one can be like, oh, well, you got to wait till next E3. Well, dropping this bi-weekly thing in the Game Pass, no one can say anything, wait till next E3. I don't got to wait but 2 weeks. And then I got to wait another 2 weeks. And then, these games are going to be coming out every 2 weeks.
Yep.
So that was huge. That was the hugest part for me. What did you think? Oh, and you know what? Remember it. I also thought it was like a great start when Phil said they wanted one AAA game every quarter to drop into Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a really great start towards that.
Yeah. Yakuza Like a Dragon that dropped in Game Pass there as well. So that was kind of a big drop there. And
that's recent. And then we got the Halo. You got the Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think you got to call Microsoft Flight Simulator a AAA game. What do you think? It's breaking grounds, you know what I mean? So I think they have to.
It is a AAA game. It's just that it's a simulator, but I mean, like, look at the scale of what it is, right? Like, I mean, it's absolutely mind-boggling what they're doing. And then, of course, on top of that, just to add, what I really enjoyed about that. Sorry, I'm Titan. I didn't mean to, I'm just backing off this thing for a second.
Do it, yeah.
But the thing is, it's really cool is that with Flight Simulator, just to add a little bit more pizzazz for anybody who thought the game was going to be boring or like, yeah, it looks really nice, whatever, but it's going to be, I'm not really my bag. And then what do they do at the end of that little showcase of Flight Simulator? They add the Top Gun thing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, if you watch other people's reactions, everybody freaked out when they saw the Top Gun thing, right? So now I'm like, you see what they did there? They take a game that's absolutely magnificent. I mean, it's getting 10s across the board. However, people are still like, I'm not that interested. As soon as they drop that Top Gun, everybody's like, now I'm interested. Because now you got fighter jets, right? So, yeah, interesting.
Well, I was definitely interested before, but now that they have the Top Gun and being such a huge Top Gun fan and having a chance to climb into an F-18, and obviously, as the developer alluded to, a particular jet, but he didn't say what it was. But I mean, how can you have Top Gun without the iconic F-14 Tomcat, right? So
imagine this game.
Driving that.
Imagine this game, right? Microsoft Flight Simulator, like coupled with, I don't know, some Battlefield game or something. I don't know. Obviously not Battlefield,
but
something like that, right? Yeah. Some crazy air-to-air, dogfight combat and maybe some bombing missions. That would be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
See all that land blow up for real. Dang, that would be next level.
You know what they should do? You know how everybody keeps talking about Microsoft buying Sega? Microsoft should buy Sega and then do a crossover between Flight Simulator and Afterburner.
Oh,
do you remember that game in the arcade?
Oh,
like
baby.
Everybody would try to play it. You got to sit down in the gigantic bucket seat and the thing would move and like bounce you all over the place.
That music, yeah, and you're fighting.
Okay.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's what I want to see. An Afterburner, Flight Simulator crossover. There it is. Done.
I think it was Top Gun on the Nintendo, on the NES that I played. It was like really fun. And like the hardest part about the game was when you go back to the ship and you're like trying to land your plane. That was the most difficult part of the game, trying to land that bitch.
Actually, Joe Dunmore said in the chat he said he remembers playing Top Gun for the NES. So you're right, it was on the NES.
Yeah, man.
I don't remember that one. That was one game I don't remember playing.
And I'm telling you, man,
Top Gun on the
Joe
NES,
Dunmore,
fucking trying to land your plane.
Yeah, how hard was it to land that plane, dude? It's like the mission seemed easy.
Landing that fucking plane, jeez. Yeah, once you're off and shooting stuff, great. Coming back to the aircraft carrier, you're like tilt the left, tilt the right, trying to get that angle and the speed. It was kind of hard back in the day. I was like, God dang.
Yeah, and back on the aircraft carrier, that's right. And if you're a little off, boy, that seemed like that thing was crashing. That was annoying. Landing on the aircraft player was hard as fuck. I don't remember. What's up?
Is it safe to say now, and I've said this question to many people, and I think we've probably got a definitive answer, is it finally safe to say that fanboys need to put away the bullshit narrative of Xbox not no games? Because I saw plenty of damn games, and it sounds like a lot of them are coming pretty damn soon.
Well, I've seen fresh faces spew the same thing, Noof. It's just like, I don't think maybe until next year, like it's got to slowly go away, and it's going to start with, the hardcore people, and it's just going to slowly fade away, and people say it less and less. But I think something like that's going to take a little time, because that's like every, hardcore fanboys like go to. It has been for how long now, and for now, 7 years or so.
Now it's switched to Xbox doesn't have good games. Is that what it is now?
Yeah, but that's gonna get squashed really quick. I mean, good, like, man alive. I don't know how that Contraband game, that was one of my favorite surprises. I don't know how you don't get excited for that, even if you're not.
I ignore those narratives, but I think one of the narratives that was trying to get traction, but my God, did it ever like die in the first 5 steps? It was like the end of Kill Bill. You know when she does like the 5-point finger punch of death to the heart, and then like Bill gets up and then falls over after 5 feet. That's how that narrative went. The narrative was, they buying studios doesn't make you good, because Jim Ryan said something about it. Did you hear that? And then people tried to jump on it.
That's what I was starting to talk about in my intro. What I was making fun of it. It was the you can't just throw money at it and make it better.
Yeah, that's right. And so some people try to turn that into something, and it lasted about an hour and a half on Twitter and then just died, because everybody was just like, just shut the fuck up already. Like even like people who aren't even Xbox fans were still saying like, dude, just shut up already. They got this now. And I'm not saying they got it like they're going to destroy everybody. They're just going to do extremely well, and a lot of people are going to jump into the ecosystem. By the way, speaking of which, if you guys caught that on Crossfire on Friday when I was there with Forte, and Forte runs or / owns that the GameStop. I've never actually found out what he does there. But anyways, he said that he had after E3, he had people camping out overnight trying to get Xboxes.
Jesus.
This is like what, 10 months after 8 months after release?
Yeah.
8 months after release, he said after E3, there were people camping and sleeping overnight outside of the GameStop trying to get Xboxes who weren't Xbox fans. They just saw what they saw, and they're like, holy shit, I need one, and started camping out. That's something, man.
You know what? Anyone listening to this podcast, maybe not live, because I don't think anyone here would disagree with me, but it's like, hey, this is a straight message to Jim Lion Rain out there. Hey, Jim, when my air conditioning went out, I threw money at it and it got fixed. When, I needed a new car, I threw money at a guy and he gave me a car and it got fixed, right? What do you throw money at and it doesn't improve? And you know what? And I think I know what he was trying to say. He just said it in a bad way. He's like, because he was talking about kind of developing these great developers, like developing their skills and honing their skills, and you got to do this. Like, you pay their paychecks and it's gonna do that. What the fuck? Like, does he have some secret fucking formula that he's, is he bewitching them in some way? God, I just can't stand anything that this dude ever says.
You throw money at a stripper, they dance better.
Where's a mutiny at, man?
That's right.
I want to see a mutiny on the other side, because that guy is he's making you guys look bad.
Yeah, he's not really the front guy. I mean, if he's doing the business thing and it's working for him, go right ahead. I mean, they're making money and they're making a lot of money. Go ahead, whatever. But like, as for talking, he should probably stop talking. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, Jim, listen, you're doing a great job in the books, man. The money's coming in, but can you do us a big favor? Yes, of course. Anything you want. He's like, yeah, can you shut the fuck up? Like, just cancel your Twitter. Just don't say anything. If people come to interview you, just say no comment and walk away. We'll force
just give him a fucking interview drone, man. Hire a guy to do your interviews for you.
People are basically doing petitions to get rid of the guy now. They're like, Jesus.
They'll never get rid of him because he's making the money, but they should get him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, there's such a contrast between him and Phil. You know what I mean? It's most of what Phil says is on point, but most people construed it. They pick out the bones and then twist it. So that's what they do.
Yeah, well, and it doesn't phase Phil at all, man. You see his face? The guy's fucking stoic, man. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Like, that guy takes bullets like Superman.
Joe Dunmore had the perfect, turn it right. Use your own words against you. He said, didn't Sony throw money at Insomniac?
Yeah, look what happened there.
Yeah, they did.
Perfect example to just use his own words against him. It's almost too easy.
We got another super chat coming in from our good friend Predator H2S. He dropped $7. He says Microsoft will be able to drop 6 to 8 AAA games a year with all the studios they have now, and also backfill with AA games, DLC, and third-party deals. I think he's definitely onto something. The content's going to come. It has to come, because that's what's going to keep Game Pass relevant. It's what's going to keep people holding on to subscriptions and more users coming in. More content, whether it's big, and I said this before, they're going to have the big stuff. That's going to come, but they're going to have a lot of the little stuff in between. Not every game can come out with, $100 million marketing budget. Not every game can come out that's been 5 years in development with, 250 plus development team. That's just the way it's going to be. You're going to have to accept there's going to be games that are going to come out, and they're going to be a lot like Bleeding Edge, for example. But there's going to be a lot of great stuff, and they're going to have a couple of diamonds in the rough. I think they're going to shoot out some games that people might not really be like, you know what I mean? But then they're going to play it and they're going to love it. And then all of a sudden they got a new hit on their hands. And that's the thing, right? The Game Pass allows a great avenue for games to be successful, especially ones that don't get a lot of hype. They can get carried through. So that's a great point there from Pred. We got to catch up with the chat again real quick. We've got Spida X3 in the house. We see your wife's in the house here, Mr. Mag, Chef Trouble.
She is.
She's probably telling you to check those doors again.
In about half an hour, I'll go check, make sure I didn't lock it.
Crazy Great Dudes in the house. Jesse Darby's here as well. Great crowd. Dreadpool is in the house. Dread, congrats on the game win too, by the way, and thanks for stopping by. Sig Larson, lack of a better name. What is going on, people? Philly Eagle is here. What's happening, Philly? Great crew. Cool.
Pure Flack Monkey in the chat mentioned the screen tearing on the new Sea of Thieves update today, and that's one of our topics, so I figured we'll jump into that now. But yeah, I did download it. I played it with my sons. We played for a few hours, but yeah, he's right. It screen teared a lot. And you know what? I was also kind of lagging. It was I don't know. It felt different. I was getting pulled back every so often. It wasn't consistent, but it was really weird. It felt like I was lagging like crazy, throughout. And it was only once when I got into that story mode. Once you click on, once you vote for that, and then then you go through the portal, that's what immediately started it, right when I went through that portal. So I think it's there's those things are on solo servers, so I think those are getting really stressed right now with that new update.
I played about an hour, and I went right through the portal and then into Davy Jones' locker there, and you see all those dudes in the boats and stuff, just like the movie, man. That was pretty cool, holding their lantern and shit.
Yep.
And it was pretty wild, man. And I was just like, oh, this is fucking cool. It's just straight out of the movies. But I didn't really get far past that. I was in the caves, trying to navigate through the caves and bring the drawbridges down and all that shit. And I didn't even fucking see Jack Sparrow yet. And I was just I gotta go. So I had to go. But I didn't notice anything. But mind you, I was also playing it solo, so I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Yeah,
I played it solo, and I had no issues, no technical issues, no screen tearing, no lag, no nothing.
I was on a brigantine with my sons. Noof, did you download it? Did you play it?
I haven't had a chance, man. My Xbox has barely been on recently, so
it's fucking cool, man. Like, I mean, it really gives you that. Finally, I know there's tall tales in there and everything, but it really gives you that. Finally, there's an actual campaign of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Like it's an original, unique story too. So that's really cool about it.
And it doesn't leave it too open ended. Like, I mean, I know like that's sort of the appeal of Sea of Thieves. Like leaving it open ended, you can kind of go after it if you want. You get on your boat, you check your map. You know, people start lowering the sails, whatever, all that stuff, right? But this actually feels like they're pushing you towards a narrative, and that's more my jam, right? I mean, I know I love open world games and stuff, but I need purpose and focus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just be like, hey, you want to go check out this island, see if there's treasure on it. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I just don't see the appeal of it. That's just me personally. That's just my thing. But like big open, like Ubisoft world, like open world, like Ubisoft games and all those other games, I could play those because there's objectives. You know, I got to finish this, and this to level up my character so I can continue the story. And this and that, right? But like, but anyways,
did you guys see all the like the main requests from Sea of Thieves? Did you guys see that? There was a big thing going around, and
oh no, what?
Well, the biggest thing, and this kind of fits that for those people. One of the biggest complaints was a lot of people wanted a PvE mode where you don't, you know, it's like basically it's not Sea of Thieves anymore. They just want to live in their safe little, you know, world of, you know, nice water and vistas and this and that, right? Well, this is for them. You think about it, because I don't think there are any other humans in your world. Once you go through that portal, that's yours, and I don't think anyone else can get in. So
yeah, because there are battles and stuff from what I've heard, because I heard that even if you play solo, because I looked it up before, because I'm like, I guess I wanted to try it solo. They said even if you play it solo and you're captaining the ship, apparently Jack Sparrow goes and mans the cannons and stuff for you, and he checks the map for you as if it's another player.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, and this is what the appeal is for me, is that it all leads itself into a story. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just, all right, let's just go fuck around in the seas for 4 hours. Like after about 45 minutes, I'd be like, guys, what the fuck are we doing?
Actually, you know what?
Level it up, man. Trying to become a pirate legend.
For what purpose, though? Yeah, sorry.
You just raised a great idea, though, Meg, for this game to bring in more people and make it a little more user friendly. And that is, you should be able to have the option to sail a ship with an AI crew if you want it, so that somebody would actually do the sails for you and stuff like that. So you could either steer. So you basically pick sort of maybe at the start of the game what kind of positions or roles you want to play within the ship, and then the AI would at least help you along. You know, I think that'd be pretty
cool. It'd be kind of like Titanfall and the new Battlefield with like adding bots, and you could play a solo offline.
Yeah.
To give you the experience without having to go online. That's pretty cool idea.
Ever jump into the game with a bunch of randoms and nobody has mics, and it's worse than having AI because nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. They don't know the controls. They're trying to figure out the boat, and they're steering into the rocks, and you know what I mean? Like something like that would be huge for the game. I don't know how hard it is to do for a game like that, but I mean, it's got to be somewhat feasible, even if you can get someone to more or less steer, and perhaps, you know, you point the compass, you tell them where you want to go, and it leads you around. You know what I mean? Or something like that.
It makes sense, man, because like I've seen, like, you know, I'm driving the boat, and then the boat's driving directly into a fucking island, and meanwhile the guy who's supposed to be dropping the anchor's playing an accordion. You know what I mean? And screwing around with his friends. It's like
that game Atlas. And you guys ever? Let me know if you guys ever played that. I think it's still in game preview. I downloaded it in game preview a long time ago. I only played it a few times, but it's got AI crew that, like, you know, does the stuff for you. But it's quite a while to get like the boat built and everything. I built like the biggest boat you could in that game. But if anyone plays Atlas in the chat, let me know.
By the way, unrelated, I just looked down at my screen. Well, it actually is related. I just looked down at the bottom of my computer screen, and and a thing pops up, a notification. It says, "Watch Fun Speculation live in 30 minutes. Play Sea of Thieves Pirate's Life." So we're just cracking jokes at this fucking guy never stops on YouTube, and then we're talking about Sea of Thieves. I look down and Fun Speculation live in 30. Hey, Fun Speculation, wait till midnight.
I'm getting ready to fucking go to bed last night. Fuck, it's late. I check out who's on the fucking podcast. Kurt, he's there again. He's like doing the Dark Alliance thing, is downloading or whatever. Fuck, I'm like, holy shit, dude.
Cool Cat. Yeah, it was. But the thing is, the games like that always come out terrible in game preview. If you guys remember, it's not called Hercules. What is it called? Conan. Yeah. When that game first came out, it was a bag of ass, and like it would crash and this and that. But those games are like the best games to get updated over time, and easily those survival games are like easily the most, like you could just tell from when like loading it up, when it was trash, and they keep adding to those. So those are my favorite games to get patches for. They shine through much more than any other type of game.
Yeah.
I'm shouting out Eternal Shaddai in the chat there. He just said their next collaboration is going to be with Peter Pan.
It could be.
Why not, man? You could play Captain Hook.
It'd be cool. Who was it said in the chat? Somebody said in the chat, and I was Phantom Kraken. Yeah, Phantom. I want my Goonies DLC. One Eye Willie and shit. That'd be funny.
Oh my
Goonies
God.
Kids. That'd be cool.
Dude, I'm going to email Rare like tonight after the show when I get into bed. I'm going to send them an email. I'll be like, I'm going to tell them it was my idea, obviously.
Wouldn't that be funny? You get the Goonies, you get that old Ma, and you get the fucking, what's his name? Chunk, well, all the kids, and then the Sloth and all them in there. That'd be funny. They're on an island or some fucking thing. That'd be funny.
Dude, that's right for fucking Sea of Thieves. Like, you have to go
easily there. I'll guarantee they've tried it already. Maybe they'll come back to it.
I wouldn't say they even thought about it, but yeah, that would be
perfect. You're going through caves. Awesome. You're like solving like Indiana Jones style puzzles, and there's like traps, and then of course, by the end of it, there's a pirate ship. What the hell?
Hell yeah, perfect.
It's pretty much Sea of Thieves with kids.
Captain Hook there, man.
Yeah.
Ryan Galloway, what's up, my brother? How are you? Glad to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. We got to hang on soon, man. So Titan, before we catch over to Mag, just real quick, try to keep things back on point with E3. How about the rest of the shows? I mean, anything stand out to you from people like Square Enix, the Capcom thing? I mean, or was it just Microsoft blew everybody away? Like, was it really that Microsoft was that good this year, or was it the fact that Sony didn't show, EA is not doing theirs till the 22nd of July, I think it is, and the rest were very, very lackluster at best, I think.
No, it really was. It was Microsoft was that good this year. I mean, and the best thing about this, remember what I'm telling you guys, have someone go through that clip with a fine-tooth comb. And you know what? This time there were the biggest thing, there were no imperfections. There were no Craig moments at all. You know, they kept it going. They kept the flow going. I just wish they would have just threw an announcement in there of an acquisition. That would have made my score like through the roof. I don't know, close to perfect, but man, alive. But I forgot all the things you asked me, but that I'm super hyped about that Contraband game, man. That game sounds like what I want to be playing for a long time. Well, so what were the other stuff you asked me?
Well, how about your top three from the Microsoft show? So you just said Contraband, so I'm assuming that's one. So your top three games that you can't wait to play that Xbox show to this one. Yeah,
Contraband, man. Well, the Sea of Thieves update, that was actually, I was really excited for that, and me and the boys got on that and played that as soon as possible. And then freaking Stalker 2, man, that was like my number one going into the show. That game, 150 gigs, that's kind of scary, but still, I'm all in for that, especially if it's good. And if it sucks, then oh well, I delete 150 gigs off and replace it with something else, right? Just like I did with COD.
Yeah. There you go. Mag, how about yourself, man? Catch up with you here before we get to the Ask Arnold segment. How about your take from the entire show, your top three Xbox things, what you like, perhaps some things you really didn't like? How did you gauge the rest of the shows, again, like Square Enix and Capcom and all those?
The only show that outside of the Microsoft show, now I'm not really a Nintendo guy, but by the way, on a side note, I just like to say that today is the day, and you've heard it here, and I am a fucking fraud. I bought a Nintendo Switch Lite today. All right. And I know I've been shitting on Nintendo forever because but my kids were driving me nuts, and I finally bent the knee. So now I'm a Nintendo guy again. So yeah, I got 3 games for it. So yeah, it's upstairs charging. Anyways, enough of the fraudery.
Jesus, Titan, the dude goes and gets a pair of glasses and buys a Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
Mag
See what happens? Pretty soon
I don't know this guy that we invited onto our podcast anymore.
Well, let me tell you something else. So this show, the other shows, I was like, all right. I wasn't even mildly impressed with any of the other shows. The only thing that I liked was in the Ubisoft show. I was really, really, obviously, because I'm an Assassin's Creed nut, and I wanted to see what they were doing with AC Valhalla, and they did not disappoint, because now they've got like the, which I'm not even close to getting to that point, but they got the Wrath of the Druids, the Irish expansion, and then, of course, now they just announced the Siege of Paris, which is a true story about how the Vikings actually they sieged Paris at one point, or at least attempted it. And so now that's the next expansion. Now, from my understanding, each expansion is anywhere between 25 and 40 hours each. And so they've got these two expansions. That the Siege of Paris comes out in July. But by the time I get to it, it'll be September. But anyways, that, and then they said something very interesting. And the lady who was talking, she said, and that's for year 1. It says we will have more story expansions coming out for year 2. And then I looked into it, and it looks like a new Assassin's Creed is not going to come out for at least another 2 years. So that's crazy. So they're doing so that really got me excited. Other than that, the other shows didn't do squat for me. Microsoft, I gave them an 8.5 when I first viewed it. And then when I reviewed it, I watched it again in 4K and everything else, and I really sat down and I watched how they did it and analyzed the show. I gave it a 9.5. I jumped a full point. And what a magnificent show. They didn't even give you time to breathe, man. It was, and you know what the thing that they did was so fucking genius was they kept the talking heads and all the deep dives for later in the week. And for the people who are the casual audience who don't give a shit about that stuff, they just wanted to see the games and the pizzazz. Well, you got that on the Sunday. And then on the Wednesday and the Thursday, whatever, and with Paris, who did a magnificent job, by the way. And and so, you know, they gave the deep dives for like the hardcore who really, really wanted to see the in-depth analysis of the games, what they're doing, what they're offering. Casuals don't give a shit about that stuff. Casuals aren't even here listening to our podcast. They don't care. Right? They just want to see the pizzazz. They want to see the games, and they either say, yeah, that looks dope, I'm going to get it, or not. That's all there is to it. So they did a fantastic job of keeping it at breakneck speed the entire show. And my God, game after game, and even the games I wasn't interested in, they zipped by so fast and then got right into something good again. There was no time to have that, you know, like that lull. You know how every show has that saggy part in the middle? It's like, you could watch the best show in the world, like Stranger Things or whatever, right? By episode 5 and 6, the show starts to sag a bit, right? And then it starts to pick up in the last 3 episodes. Same thing with the E3 shows. This one did not sag at all. Okay, this thing was like silicone tits, man. They just sat straight out and they just kept going, man. And it was magnificent.
Tits. I like that.
No sags.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you think it was a missed opportunity for a lot of companies this year? I know we had COVID, and that's one of the things you hear people, well, you know, we didn't expect much because of COVID. But don't you feel like, first of all, last year, there was no official E3 last year. Most people, which I would imagine that at, you know, March, April, by the time things were kind of shutting down, that a lot of these studios kind of they're basically starting the show, if not almost got a lot of it finished, I would imagine. Like you're kind of working on it. You got a couple of months to get things ready for E3. Now they've had like basically a year since then. Like, do you feel that a lot of people just missed the opportunity here? Like, you can't be just coincidental. Microsoft seems like the only people that basically showed up to this fucking thing that came up with anything significant. The rest were pretty much filler, and like Nintendo was like, what the like F was that? Like that.
All I heard about that was something about
WarioWare and a 2D Metroid, which I know some people are still excited about, but like $60 or $70 for this little 6 GB 2D Metroid game. Like, come on, man.
And then my kids asked for it, it's not happening. Sorry, go ahead.
So do you think that a lot of people just missed the boat? And why do you think that is? Do you think it's just they didn't care, or do you think that they just because they couldn't get people together? Like, what do you think was the big reason? I mean, Square Enix and some of the bigger ones, you'd think they would have come out swinging. Like you should like. hopefully COVID is behind us mostly, at least by the time we head into the holiday season, and hopefully you can get one of these awesome, amazing consoles. So shouldn't it be this should have been the show where people went, we haven't put out a lot of games. It didn't stop us from working on them. So here's what we got for you, because we want you to get excited for the end of the year and early into 2022. And I didn't see a lot of that. I just saw like a lot of remasters, a lot of stuff that just didn't light the fires. It just felt very cookie cutter, very quick, just blah. And there's so many big ones. Microsoft laid down a great roadmap.
I have a feeling, okay, I might be alone on this, but it's a thought, guys. They might have held back because they got partnerships with Sony. And Sony is eventually, whenever they decide to announce it, is going to do some kind of a state of play, whatever, in order to, quote unquote, answer whatever Microsoft and Nintendo came out with, right? And if you look at the typical partnerships that Sony has is with what? Square Enix, Capcom, right? Those were companies that were there, and they in Capcom and Square Enix basically showed nothing. Not nothing, but I mean, it was like nothing significant. You didn't see anything really about like what was going on with Final Fantasy, the new one that's exclusive to PlayStation for a while or whatever. They showed some stuff, but like nothing significant in my mind anyway. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is that a lot of them were told to hold off until Sony does their presentation. And then they're really going to let it out. Now, the thing with that is that you're right, though. If you are going to be doing that, why did you even bother going to the show at all if you're not really going to show anything because you're in Sony's?
I think saying that kind of throws your own argument off track a little bit here.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
It sounded all right until you said that. And I'm looking at it like this, Sony, no show. Microsoft shows up huge. Nintendo, all these other companies show up like trash. So I would say I would agree with you if you're saying, it's this COVID, it's affecting everybody. If Microsoft didn't show up so much more than everybody else, that tells me that, there's one player that's been working his ass off, and maybe these other people put them all together. They don't equal anything as big as.
Well, look at how big Microsoft is now. I think a lot of people don't realize. They're starting to realize, but a lot of people did not give enough credit because when they hear acquisition here, acquisition there, ZeniMax here, Obsidian there. Double Fine here, but then when you start adding that shit up, COVID or no COVID, this is major. And when you put those companies together, you're like, Jesus Christ, they're going to be doubling Sony's very soon. Sony's first party, which was the dominant force in the entire video game industry, right? And now you can have Microsoft is literally going to have double the studios. With way more people, with way more developers in each studio, right? Working on multiple projects at once. So now that you saw that, you could say even with the COVID delays and everything else, you've got some major things coming because you don't realize how big the machine is until you really lay it down and you put all those names down on a sheet and just look and go, holy shit. And just don't think that like Obsidian's working on one game or two games. They're working on 3 or 4. Multiply that by all the other studios that they've got there. You're working on they could be theoretically working on anywhere between, I know they said 50 something, 40 something, whatever. I don't think so. I think that they're with concepts and everything else, they could be working upwards of 100, if not more games. Right. And so over the course of the next 5 to 8 years. Okay. First party games or whatever else. Right. So you start thinking about that. When you look at all these other companies, they can't hold a candle to that shit.
Yeah. And also think about this too. When Microsoft got all these companies, when they acquired all these companies, what did they do to every studio? And I mean everyone. What did they do?
Mm-hmm.
They made every team bigger. They hired more developers.
That's what I'm saying. So it wasn't
what
just
started
the
out
team.
as a 20-man or 30-man team is now over 100 men. Like hundreds of developers were hired for each.
That's what I was saying. So like they've not only increased the number of studios, they've almost exponentially increased the number of actual developers working in those studios, so that they could work on multiple projects at once. Because let's face it, if Game Pass is going to be like Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever, you've got to have the content, and they don't want to continue. Well, I mean, they will continue, like Predator said in the super chat there. They are going to continuously pump out more AA, AAA, third-party titles and stuff like that, right? But they want their first party to be in there so that eventually they will become their own entity, right? So and then just have a sprinkle here and there of the third-party games and whatever else. They're putting more emphasis on third-party games now because some of those games that they've got coming are not coming for a while. So they need something to fill that void, right? But eventually in like 4 or 5 years, it's going to be like 90% first party and only 10% of the third party. That's what I see. But anyways.
So that right there, hiring all those extra devs, I think that right there is the primary factor that scuttled, this depression of an E3 that rocked everyone else so hard. Mm-hmm. Do you think Sony wants to go to E3 right now? Do you think they want to go against what Xbox just showed?
No, they couldn't.
No.
They can't.
Fuck no.
What they're going to do is what Sony does best. All they have to do is show 5 seconds of God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Literally just like Kratos scratching his balls for 5 seconds, and the whole fucking internet of fanboys are literally going to explode. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just going to walk out of he's going to walk out of his Viking outhouse, scratch a pimple on his ass and go, boy. And then that's it. And then everybody's going to be like, it's over. Microsoft's dead. Fucking over. And I'm like, yeah, okay. What else you got coming out that year? But anyways, enough of that shit. Get back to your question there, Noob. The one thing that I did actually applaud Microsoft on the show was actually that they did not show Starfield gameplay, which a lot of people complained about. And I'm like, guys, this game comes out in 1.5 years. With all the jackasses that were sitting there watching that show with a fucking microscope looking for like any little something, Microsoft did not give it to you. They did not give you a chance or a reason to pull up a Craig image.
And that's why this is scoring so high with everyone. How many polls have you seen on Twitter? Who won E3? And it's like Xbox is like I think the lowest one I saw was 70% Xbox. That's the lowest one.
It's pretty overwhelming. So they gave you no reason to shit on them because let's face it, the game's still coming out in 1.5 years. Can you imagine if even just a flighting moment, the main character lands on a planet and there's a fucking tree that has just like a slight jagged leaf.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't even give you that opportunity.
You're right.
So in that game still, what is it, November 11th, 2022. So we're talking another 1.5 years. So they didn't give you that opportunity. But biggest surprise for the show, hands down, Sea of Thieves. I never thought I'd be that excited to see it. And I was very excited. I was like, holy shit. I was jumping out of my seat when I saw that. I'm like, now I'm interested. So that was my surprise. As for my 3 top games, I got to say, well, first of all, there's Halo. I mean, Halo looked great. They didn't show too much. They showed more in the deep dive of the multiplayer and stuff. That was wonderful. But I really liked Halo there. Forza was a huge surprise for me because I'm an off and on racing guy where like Forza Horizon, I can't remember if it was 2. I think it was Forza Horizon 2. I played the shit out of that. And then I kind of backed off on 3 a little bit. And then I played 4, maybe 50 hours or something, not a hell of a lot. But then I saw this, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I have a feeling this is going to be my new Forza Horizon 2. Yeah. I'm going to pump in 100+ hours into this. So that was a big one. And the number one for me was A Plague Tale Requiem.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That blew my socks off. First of all, I had no idea they were working on a sequel. And when I saw that looked like one of those big-time AAA, next-gen, Unreal Engine 5 kind of shit You know what I'm saying? That's what that looked like to me. I was like, holy Jesus, I can't. And I love the first Plague Tale.
You think there's something up with Asobo and Microsoft? They're doing Flight Simulator and that game, and kind of seems like there's something going on there.
It's either something's going on, or they're just enjoying the partnership. Because from my understanding, and I've looked into it before, that Asobo does not want to be acquired. They just enjoy working with them.
They don't want to be acquired, but they really are and don't know it.
They're basically being paid for and bought. They're basically being paid for and bought. But you know what? At the same time, they're not being forced. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not forced to work for Microsoft. They have the choice.
It's like, well, why not at this point? Shit, what are they doing right now that they would not do if they were not acquired? What are they doing? I don't know. Because it sure seems there isn't. It's a rhetorical question. Fucking. There's nothing these guys are doing. Like they're pretty much acquired. They've been acquired. I don't know why they haven't released this information yet, but damn.
I think a lot more developers will come on board soon when they see the culture that Microsoft's putting forward, and they don't feel like they're pressured, and they certainly don't feel like they're pigeonholed into making one game that's successful and then constantly making sequels to that game. I think they'll be just fine having the resources, the game engines, the infrastructure, and not having to worry about all that crap. Just hire your guys. Here's some money. Go fucking make something genius. How can you turn that down?
I don't know how or why, but like it doesn't make any sense to me either. But if it's working for them, it's working for them. I mean, what do you want to do? But I mean, all I know is that Plague Tale Requiem is one of my big ones now. I mean, that's like that's going to be like my Resident Evil of 2022.
Dude, they took the rats and amplified them, man.
And imagine what they're going to do with the new hardware and stuff. Like, it's just going to look magnificent, right? But anyways, I gave the show a 9.5. Everybody else was not even passable at best. Nintendo, I didn't watch like fervently. Like I didn't sit there like totally like glued to the set and watch the damn thing. I just kind of casually watched it. I was like, all right, whatever, just to see what was up. Other than that, I mean, Microsoft crushed everybody's balls, and I got to tell you, Sony does not have to answer to Microsoft the same way. Like they're like, oh well, what they got to answer to Game Pass. I'm like, no, they really don't. They just have to do their product now because Microsoft's going in one direction. Sony is still in the same direction they've been since the fucking 90s. And that's fine. If it's working for them, same with Nintendo. Like when I bought that Switch today, I'm looking at those cartridges. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's 2021. Yeah. What are these little chiclets I'm looking at here? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's so dumb, but I'm like, whatever, that's fine. But Sony's got to answer in a different way. They have to show what product they're offering, and they have to show it well. That's it.
Noof, did you see the Nintendo?
I got to watch the majority of the Nintendo. Honestly, like I wanted to fall asleep after 5 minutes. I was like, oh, more of the same shit.
Can you tell me what WarioWare is before you?
WarioWare is basically, I think it came out originally, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if it was the DSi or the DS. It was basically a collection of little mini games. It's like 40, 50, or 100 little things on there where like one, you could be like picking your nose, and two, you could be like, rolling dice to some, like all kinds of these weird little thing, like a little slot machine of games. And it was kind of a bit of a hit. It is a lot of fun, I suppose you could say. I played it before, and it's like, it was one of those good little portable games to take on the road and dick around with at times. You know what I mean? But it's definitely not a system seller, nothing big. It means it adds the variety. I'll give them credit there, like, that variety thing. But the thing with Nintendo is I'm waiting for us to be wowed. They didn't show the hardware, and I think it's the worst kept secret in the industry that they've got another Switch coming. But the reason I think they decided not to show it at this show, because either they're going to show it later in the year, which is a possibility, but most likely they wanted to leave it till next year. Why? Because the Switch is selling too good as it is, and I think they're still sitting on a lot of hardware. So they're not like, why do we want to bring out another system now if we're killing it across the world? We're like pretty much the number one system. Why bring this out? Steal the, like, so now what? We're going to sit on a bunch of older Switch inventory. We don't have a really strong lineup this year of games because like Breath of the Wild is not ready. They don't have another Mario game ready. You know what I mean? They don't have a Mario Kart. They don't have that same impact that they had at the original Switch launch. So they're just like, you know what? We're gonna bide our time. Nobody's burning down our house yet. We're gonna sell you the same fucking games you bought 10 years ago. We'll charge you full price. We're gonna give you a Metroid that nobody asked for. but it's kind of cool, and it will probably sell a million copies just because it's Metroid. It's just the same shit with Nintendo. It's almost like the executives sit back and laugh. They're like counting their money the whole time, going, "Suckers, keep buying shit, suckers."
Yeah, in 480p, I might add.
Yeah. So
I want to know how much it costs to create one of them damn systems, because they got to be making money hand over fist just selling the systems, and that's rare.
Nintendo treats their product not like a tech; they treat it like a toy company, right? It's basically Nintendo treats their product like a toy company. They never lower the damn price. The value never goes down, and that's it. They don't put much into it, and it doesn't cost a shitload of money. Look at what you're talking about. It's like barely a 720p screen. They're not putting it. My fucking phone has a 4K, 120 frames per second. My cell phone. You know what I'm saying? And I paid nothing for it. They gave it to me for free as long as I'm paying my service.
Phantom Kraken says $75 is his bet per unit that it costs to make. Let me know. Let me hear some more opinions in the chat. What do you guys think it costs to make a freaking Switch?
You know, and I'll just, I guess, Mag, I assume you wrapped up what you had to say. I'll just put in mine real quick.
I'm all done there. But the one interesting little side note, though, and I'm not going to go off on the tangent, just like literally a single sentence, is that Microsoft's show was so damn good. Think about this for a second. Nobody was talking about Breath of the Wild 2, and nobody was talking about Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Yeah.
Literally Ratchet, I'm not being a detractor because I'm gonna get the game for my PS5, which I own. I know you have it, Noof, and Boom has been playing it. He loves it. But literally 24 hours after that game came out, not one fucking person is talking about it. That's it. It died that day. And I asked the guys later, I'm like, hey guys, this is like 2 days after E3. I'm like, does anybody talk about Ratchet and Clank anymore? And they're like, nope. Not a single fucking person, not a single screenshot, not a single PS5 share, nothing.
Well, it's because everyone beat it in the 5 hours that it took.
Actually, you know, it's funny. I spoke to someone who platinumed it in 16 hours, and that's when I pumped the brakes on paying $105 for it. I'm like, I'll wait. 16 hours to platinum. It was less than 10 hours to finish the game. So I'm like, fuck that. And maybe that's why people aren't talking about it. You're right. Maybe they finished it by Saturday, came out Friday.
Someone is like, quality. Like I've had better value in a freaking arcade, man. Quarters at a time.
I look forward to it, man. I mean, it looks absolutely magnificent.
It's a great game. Me personally, I love the other Ratchet and Clanks. I think it's worth every penny. It's a lot of fun. It looks magnificent. You know, it uses a controller in some ways. I don't know how much it's really taken advantage of the whole solid state drive technology that they praise up, because to me, it doesn't personally, it doesn't seem like a game that couldn't run on a PS4. Honestly, like, you know what? I bet you any fucking money next Christmas that game will be on PS4.
I don't even think that long, dude. I think by this Christmas. Are you talking about this Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, by this Christmas for sure. Even King David, like the prophet of Xbox. I mean, that guy. Everything that guy says has basically happened. And the one thing he said, he goes, "Don't blink twice, because you know that Ratchet and Clank is coming to PS4."
Yeah.
And he said, "And next in line going to PC, by the way, is Ghost of Tsushima." But anyways. I just looked it up, guys. Apparently, by PC Mag and a bunch of other people, a bunch of other media outlets, says that the regular Nintendo Switch cost $257 to make.
The Nintendo Switch is $270 to make?
Sorry, $257 to make it. That's that's the manufacturing cost, the production cost.
So they're still making at this point what, $50-$60 a unit, probably?
I guess, yeah. Even Venture Beat reported on the same thing.
And was that like early in the generation or like now? Because like those prices these are from
2017. That's the best I can find.
Okay, so it's probably down now. So I would speculate Nintendo is the only one making significant money. If Xbox and Sony are, it's probably very minimal at best. So they're definitely making, and they're making a ton on them damn games.
Well, did you guys ever play the game Mad Games Tycoon? It's a game where it's on Xbox. You're a developer.
Yeah.
And you create games and you sell them. They go on the market. They go off the market. This and that. And then you can even go into publishing and this and that. But that's a really cool game. But playing that game kind of makes you realize how fast making a console for a a gain of money or a loss of money. Like that is a ton of money when you are losing like $100 per console after millions of people. That's a ton of money. It's crazy, man. And the fact that, you know, Microsoft is in the position to do that, because I guarantee Microsoft is losing a ton per console.
Yeah.
Especially on the X. But actually, I don't know which one they're losing more on. Like $300 is a hell of a deal for what's in there.
I'd say they're doing a little bit better with the S, just because of the kind of tech that's inside it and the smaller solid state drive and everything else, and no disk drive alone. So I think they're probably doing okay with the S. Definitely sucking it up on the X for sure. I think that's where they're probably taking the biggest hit. But yeah, I mean, personally, like I said, look, I love the Xbox show. I think it was definitely one of their best in years. This year, they didn't have to come out and deliver some like the hardware was out of the way for a change, no hardware kind of stuff. They could focus on the games. Definitely, like I said, I loved Halo. Forza Horizon 5 looked absolutely phenomenal. Stalker looked amazing. That game, I think it was a little indie game that actually looked really, really damn good. And me and Terry have been talking about this one. I think it was called Replaced. That looked really cool. Phil even acknowledged that one. I love the way Psychonauts 2 is looking. That looked awesome. And I was blown away, even by the Sea of Thieves. Like I said, that announcement. I don't know if you guys remember a couple months ago, and I think I said it on Gaming After Dark. I was trying to figure out which podcast I said it on, but I'm pretty sure it was this one. And I was saying something about, man, they need to do Pirate of the Caribbean friggin' DLC or something like that. And then all of a sudden,
there it is.
I did. I said that months ago. I said it seems like a game that was made for it, and sure as shit, it comes through, and I'm just like, man. So
that's right. I do remember that now.
I said it a long time. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, it was. Podcast. Yeah, I'm starting to think about it. I think it was on this show, dude.
It was. It definitely was.
I'm starting to recall now that you're saying it. I'm like, that actually sounds pretty familiar. I think I remember being on the show when Noob said that shit.
I want to track it down and find it because I know I said it 100%. I know I talked about it, and then when they showed that the other day, I was like, God damn, Microsoft picking my brain here.
No, Phil Spencer listens to the show.
Great minds think alike.
Phil Spencer's a big fan of Tony Baloney. That's why.
I apparently he is. And outside of that, like that Top Gun, like Flight Simulator, like I wanted to buy it anyway, like, but I wasn't like stoked for it. But now with the Top Gun thing, my eyes and my jaw was on the floor. Okay, now I'm like effing sold now. Like that's just nuts. And the game looks nuts. I mean, it's it's not much to it. It's not like a game you're going to sit down and play probably for hundreds of hours. Just like it's not really a game. Again, it's a flight simulator. You're not even.
No, man, it's like going wherever you want. Like I didn't realize some fantastic places like that even existed, like some of these vistas they're flying over. They're just fantastic. It's like, man, where is that at? I want to go there, but I don't actually want to go there, but I would love to go there in my Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's so amazing.
Yeah, I'm blown away. I'm super stoked to like fly out of for me in Toronto, like Pearson International Airport. And then I want to fly out to like where I live, you know what I'm saying? Which is not even 40 minutes away or whatever. And like fly over the city and do what I want. And you know what I mean? Like check out places I know, go to New York, go to the other cities in the US, like even like Los Angeles. And like, it's going to be fucking wild, man. Like, I mean, I don't know, like, it's just like it's an experience. That's the way I was going to say it. It's not a game per se. It's more like an experience. You're like, this is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And I don't think we really truly appreciate how good this game is going to be until we get it in our hands. And then we're going to be like, it's going to happen like a week after we're going to be on the show and it'll be like, Noof, I flew over your house. You know what I mean? It's like, it's going to be wild.
I wonder if they'll ever add like traffic to it too.
That's
like
why there's human turd on my house.
I don't think they have like active traffic, do they?
Not sure.
I don't think so. I think that would be way. I mean, the game is already melting 3090s for fuck's sake. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
that would be asking a lot, yeah. Hey, look! I can see the strippers on Sunset Boulevard. Look at that.
Yeah, or even other planes and stuff. That would be way too much.
There's Mag taking another hot tub swim.
Yeah.
Making another video.
I'd be flying over my boss's house, dropping garbage bags of shit.
Oh, look. Titan's dumping the 42 liters of bathtub water he didn't sell. He's got water in his lawn with it. I can't waste the water.
Oh my God, you should see my lawn. I wish we would go through a drought, man. God, the grass is so crazy.
So that's my take on it. The rest of the show is Guardians of the Galaxy had me stoked a little bit, but you know what? All I'm doing is I'm crossing my fingers, going, please don't be the Avengers. Please don't be the Avengers. Please don't have a collectathon. That's all I'm thinking. Like, please be an actual fucking game where I actually feel like the Guardians and not like, hey, this is a collectathon for suits. Like, fuck off. You know? Yeah. So pretty much it. Let's move along. Let's get over because we got some more stuff to get into. We're going to come back to this a little bit. So let's get over and do the Ask Arnold section since we're halfway through the show. Anybody got any questions from the chat or from the panel?
Arnie, did anyone get what did you score the E3?
Well, I'm going to give Microsoft's E3 is definitely a 9. It was right up there. It was one of the best shows I think they've had in years. They cut out the fat. They didn't get up on the stage. They didn't have flute guys, and they didn't have people coming from the ceiling or anything like that. But, you know, it was great. And, of course, having Bethesda there and Todd Howard and Pete Hines and all of those guys. And then watching all of the PlayStation fanboys that are crying because they're not getting Starfield. Fuck you. We're going to get our own exclusives. Either buy a PC, get an Xbox, and piss off. We bought your fucking console to play your games, to buy this one. That's exactly what they're saying. Go out there and get an Xbox, you guys. Stop being so petty. Stop it. It's not necessary. I love it. It's great. I don't know if you guys heard it the other day with Aaron Greenberg and Pete Hines, and they're actually having a little bit of a giggle over the whole apologizing to people's shit. Don't apologize. Stick it up your middle finger. That's what you do. Stick on the middle finger. That's what I would do if I was in traffic. You pissed me off and apologize to you. I'd give you the middle finger. Stick under my house. A donkey. Yes.
Artie, you said they cut out a lot of the fat and you still gave it a good score. You must have really loved that show.
Oh, it was a great show. Everybody else is absolutely sunk. I don't know what the hell Nintendo's doing. Nintendo might as well just phone it in. I don't know. And then you got Capcom. They didn't bring out nothing, of course, because they blew their wad with Resident Evil. Now they got nothing left. You know, Nintendo's just going to bring out the same game that you played yesteryear, another year. I got it on GameCube. I got it on Switch. I got it on the NES. I got it on this one. We got the 50 versions of the game. They're all going to be the same price. I swear to God. My God, it's like dung beetles coming to your house and charging you for the shit.
I got one from Jesse Darby in the chat here. It says, Arnold, what do you think about PlayStation fanboys signing petitions?
I'll come to my house. I'll sign your petition. Go buy another console, you cheap bastard. Stop crying and getting on Twitter and talking about, I don't have this, I don't have that. What is wrong with you? Are you mentally stupid? Do I got to put you in a straitjacket and in the home? You're starting to look like the guy from One Floor of the Cuckoo's Nest. Come on. Get with the times. Just buy the Xbox already. I got all the consoles. I don't care. You know, if nothing else, you can use them for beer coasters. Play the game you want, stick them in the corner, or turn them on because the PlayStation is enough to use as a block heater. Heat up your house.
I really like this question from Death to Kid, and I'm wondering how you're going to answer this. Arnold, is milk only for babies?
Yes, and that's why it's always dripping from the PlayStation fanboys' mouths.
Great. That's the best fucking answer I've heard in like months.
I am going to send you a year's supply of diapers for all of this shit that we got to put up with. Nothing. Have you ever heard a fan that come on there and they say, you know what, Xbox did a great job, I really like that. No, they don't fucking do it. It is like against the law for them to say, I even liked one game at the show. No, that game sucked. I've got no games. You got no fucking life. Go back in your hole, you troll.
Oh, man.
Hey, sorry, go ahead, brother.
Arnie, are you a fan of WarioWare?
That's how I was going to read. Phantom Kraken, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab Wario by his throat and strangle. Who the fuck is it anyway? Luigi was bad enough, but now you got this Wario, then you got that other guy, the Waluigi. Got the Waluigi. I can't even do it. But it's all these fucking weirdos. And then you got the little shithead with the mushroom cap. He even got his own fucking game, for fuck's sake. Big mushrooms. What the fuck is this? Nintendo's on drugs and nobody even knows it. And of course, the fans are on drugs because they still buy all the shit.
Waluigi, yeah. That's fantastic. Crazy with that, man.
Yeah. That's it. The question's dried up.
And we'll take one more.
Let's see if I can get another.
Fastback, I think.
Arnold, what do you think of Sylvester Stallone crying that Predator is exclusive to you?
I wouldn't want to have Sylvester Stallone in the Predator movie. Predator would kill him instantly. He wouldn't have lasted till the end. I'm the only guy that can do that. Stallone was not going to do that. Maybe it'd have to be Rambo in the Predator movie, but I don't know. I mean, who are we going to get? Tango and Cash? Tango and Ass? I don't know what they're going to do here. You know? Rocky Balboa going to come in there and go, look at me, I'm going to put you know, no, I'm the only guy to do the Predator. Stallone, you got enough of your own movies. Go back and make another racing movie or something like that. Go back and crying your salty tears and your box office mishaps. You know, on Terminator's still going. You're still blowing.
Fantastic.
All righty, good stuff, guys. There's Arnold back for another week. Back in the same time, Mr. Kima, what's going on, man?
All right. Noof, I gotta tell you, Noof and Titan, I gotta tell you the story. It's only about a minute long, but my God, as soon as you said the mushroom guy from Mario, listen to this. So I was in Montreal with my friends, and the doctor was there, and we were super, super fucking drunk, and all stumbling back to the hotel, whatever. And then I see one of my friends come out of the. Pulls up in a cab with some girl. And he tries to step out of the cab, and his pants are at his ankles. And like bare ass, bare everything. And then the cab drives off with the girl. Yeah. He gets up, drunk as hell, pulls his pants up, and then I go, what the fuck just happened? And he's like, I've never been so embarrassed in my life. And then he went to bed. Next day, he gets up, he tells me what happens. He goes, I was so drunk. We started making out in the back of the cab. Yeah. And he says to her, he goes, hey, you want to see a big dick? And he was so wasted. He says, I pulled my pants down and my dick was so small. He goes, it looked like the mushroom guy from Super Mario Brothers. That happened like 15 years ago, and I never forgot. Every time someone says the mushroom guy from Mario, all I think of is his dick. Yeah. There you go. There's a story for you guys. Welcome back to Gaming After Dark.
There you go. Yes, he should get a tattoo of Toadstool on his dick now just to make that story forever. Huh? Earlier too, a great game to play at nighttime. You know, now that Flight Simulator and Top Gun are coming out together, you know, you could always get your old lady to shave her pubic area and then draw a little runway down there, put some glow in the dark stickers on, and you're coming in for a landing. Coming in for a landing, Roger, Roger. It's 24, 62 degrees, and slow down to 22 knots. Coming in slowly. Now, boop! Oh, I missed the runway. Oh, shit. Great stuff, guys. Yes, welcome back to Gaming After Dark. You had to miss this shit, right? I know I missed this shit. I miss these guys.
Oh, yeah. Come on, man.
Oh, man. This is the only podcast that's this fucking nuts. So, there's some pretty good ones out there, but this one definitely goes off the rails. Oh shit. All right, let's get into some more stuff. We got a couple more topics to get into here real quick like here. Let me just get over to it. Let's talk about the Game Pass effect here. If there was one message that was driven home, and Titan kind of brought this up in our private DMs, so we'll talk about it now. If there was one message I think that was driven home at this show, and I thought he did it in an elegant way, because Microsoft didn't have Phil or didn't have representatives coming out on the stage every 5 seconds and going, it's in Game Pass. They just showed you the games. The games kind of speak for themselves, more or less. And then it was like on the end, you'd see the little white letters or whatever, Game Pass, day one. And I think of 30-something games shown, if I'm correct, about 27 of them are in Game Pass on day freaking one.
Correct.
Unbelievable. And big titles, no less. Not just like little thing here, little thing there. There was a lot of big stuff going in day and date, which makes you very excited for the future. And more stuff to come. Like, I think that's the thing we walked away from this Xbox show was too. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot to come. So how do you feel about Game Pass now compared to even, 4 or 5 weeks ago? Is it really the best value now out there? And how do you shut the naysayers up with this thing?
Well, Noof, I got to real quick ask you, man. I gotta ask you because you told me backstage, like, what is it for you that is, making you change your mind slowly but surely?
Oh, well, boy, they're dangling the carrot, and that carrot is looking pretty juicy right now.
Yeah, right.
It's got a little bit juicier since the fact that, well, I just bought myself a motorcycle, and that means I got a lot more payments now. I'm living in a big boy land. I got some big payments between the mortgage, my car, and now motorcycle, which is going to leave my gaming money a little bit tighter. So Game Pass might just be a reality for me real soon. And, of course, right now, they've got the $1 for 3 months intro, and I think I can still take advantage of that.
Yes,
Well, I had Game Pass 2 years ago when my good buddy Free Jack actually gave me Game Pass for a month. So I did have Game Pass, guys, at one point, believe it or not. I barely used it, but yeah.
You know what's really funny, Noof, is that I did a TXR podcast on Sunday night. And one of them asked me, they said, so you podcast with Noof and this and that. It says, what do you think it'll take? What do you think it'll take him to get Game Pass? And I answered back without even blinking. I said, the minute he runs out of money. And I said that on the show, and I'm like, yep. I go, the minute he runs out of money, that's when Game Pass is going to show up. And now you're saying you got a motorcycle? I'm like, there it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Yep. The money's going to be tighter than a nun's buns around here. So, yeah.
The physical media champion. Remember, this is a guy.
But it's just,
let's remember.
Media champion.
Let's remember, this is a guy that said, he's like questioning video gaming because of the way the direction is going. He gets in those moods.
I don't listen to that. That's just you getting pissy pants about something. I said, like, no. He's gonna keep gaming. Come on, man. He can't walk away from this industry.
I don't know, man. That's how huge this show was. It opened Newcomb's eyes, man.
Well, the thing is, Titan, the way I looked at, because I game share with my wife, right? I've said it a million times before that we have a separate gaming budget between the two of us, right? So we game share with each other. So we had our little meeting, okay, talking about the games coming out in the fall.
And the games coming out, honey.
Oh, dude, like we pay $40 each per game, right? Because we split it between the two of us, right? So I'm like, okay. Then I looked into it. We're only going to be paying like $80 each. Maybe 120 each for the entire fall season, because everything else is on fucking Game Pass, which is now part of our house cost, right? Because we have Game Pass as part of like our Disney Plus, part of our cable, part of our cell phone bills, part of whatever, Netflix.
What would it take for you to juice it into that category?
Well, my wife and I both use it, and my kids use it, right? So it became a household expense because when it first came out, I was
sticking to it.
Yeah, man. So we don't consider that. That's just rolled into our normal payments now. So I call it free. But anyways, the point is that we looked at it and I'm like, is that it? And I'm like, I'm looking at her. She's looking at me and I'm like, is that it? And there really is. That's fucking it. And here's the thing. There's no guarantee that those 3 games that we're buying are not going to Game Pass, because you're looking at Battlefield, which I personally think, I don't want to get into it, but I think
we also have to talk about, man.
Battlefield not going into Game Pass is a fucking mistake, and they're going to fail.
You heard
that. You heard that here, okay?
No,
I said it, and I'm not going to fucking flinch on it. And then, so I still think that's coming to Game Pass. Dying Light 2, that Microsoft, they invested $50 million into the production of that game and got the marketing rights. You can fucking blow me if you don't think that that's going to Game Pass. $50 million to help produce the game? Are you out of your fucking mind? That's going into Game Pass. What does that leave you? That leaves you with maybe Horizon Forbidden West and Far Cry 6. That's it. That's it. That's the whole fall season.
Well, the thing is,
they haven't even announced Call of Duty yet.
Well, what's scaring me, that's another topic. But what's scaring me is they said, Back for Blood is coming to Game Pass day one. Now that was kind of a surprise, right? And
and Halo and Forza and Hades and Psychonauts and Flight Simulator. Do I have to keep going? What else was there? That's this year. And then maybe Battlefield, maybe Dying Light 2. You basically just
Battlefield for sure. We just thought it was going to be day one. Apparently they're not It doesn't look like they're going to go that way.
Well,
but it
they
will
might
be
go
in
that
Game
route. They're going to
Pass.
wait and see. They're going to see their projections on pre-sales because
Well,
then they
it's
want to
gonna
see
be-
what it's looking like, right?
No matter what, it's going into Game Pass. Just when. And remember,
fuck yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it because even if it doesn't go day one, by January it'll be in fucking Game Pass.
Yeah,
Because they'll get those initial sales over the holiday, and then by January, just like Battlefield 5, it'll be fucking in there.
Yeah, I'm
right?
thinking on their first patch, they'll bring it to Game Pass because they'll put a little campaign together for their new patch for it and bundle it right in there, whatever. But yeah, this game
think about that,
it's gonna hit a brick wall when this game releases.
Yeah,
$70 versus a free-to-play game.
Hold on, $70 not including the season pass.
And then there's that, and then they got the audacity to do that as well. Like, man, they sure got some nuts.
Going up against a free Halo multiplayer. And I'm not talking about free Halo like it's going into Game Pass. I'm talking about free Halo multiplayer. All the multiplayer is going to be free.
A Call of Duty that will release sometime we just don't know.
Yeah, but Call of Duty's Warzone, which is still free, they're releasing an update. I know as a fact, they're releasing a completely revamped Warzone that's going to launch with the new game.
Supposedly, once again, yes, but...
So, like, are you out of your fucking mind? I don't care how good Battlefield is. You can't compete against that. The only way that you could compete against that if you've got 30 million people in Game Pass looking to adopt that game day one. Other than that, you've got an extremely packed fall season, especially October and November, are going to be a shit show of games. You have no fucking chance unless that game is in Game Pass.
I was tweeting I was tweeting a lot of people this week about the game and all the directions they've taken about it right now. And a lot of people saying, this not going to Game Pass day one is critical mistake.
Yep.
Let me go back and find this tweet because I want to quote a couple of things in this tweet. There was a lot of really good talks about this Battlefield, and a lot of different opinions on it too. Because my thing was 3 strikes and you're out, right? So, and I think in this conversation, we got to about 7 strikes against Battlefield.
And if a couple of schlubs like us are talking about it, you don't think the fucking assholes who are making millions sitting in an office aren't talking about it? They're talking about it. And I think they already know that it's going, but they want to see those pre-sale projections first so that they know what kind of a price they're going to negotiate.
Well, because I think they know they're dead in the water. Campaign. And a price increase. And I was talking to Noof in the pregame, and it's like he was saying, he's not crazy impressed with some of the, and I agreed with him on some of these clips because on those clips that they were, in the choppers or whatever, like that whole area, the whole ground was just like one color. It kind of reminded me playing a 360 title or something because there's just one color on the bottom because it's all sand. So like, look at all the crap they're getting away with. Like nothing is in that area. What do they gotta, develop it so that when tanks roll over it, it gets the tank marks. Like this is a lot of information that they're just not even using. And there's not that many maps. What is it? 7 maps or something?
Yeah, but the thing is, like I said, even if you were to take aside like the whole Battlefield, like what it looks like, how many maps it's coming with, ignore all that. Even ignore the price. Look what you're going up against. You're going up again. Back for Blood comes out 1 week. Or sorry, 10 days, I think. 10 days before Battlefield. And that's a 4-player online multiplayer first-person shooter, polished first-person shooter that's going into Game Pass in day one with possibly up to 30 million subs by then.
Yeah.
Are you out of your fucking mind thinking that people are going to dish that cash? Not a chance. No. And then Halo and COD.
Battlefield's going to do fine. It always does. It'll come out and be hot it'll come out and be hot for about what, 3 or 4 weeks, and by the time Christmas is over, that game will be almost like half price in the bargain bin.
I'm not buying it. Like,
how many copies of Battlefield 5 can I walked into Walmart there just recently, and they had more copies of Battlefield 5 than you could shake a fucking stick at. It was almost embarrassing. I could have built a fucking Jenga set with so many copies. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
You know, like, get it for like $5.
Like, and I get it. The argument, and I had a lot of people attacking me because I said, no campaign, no buy. I said that before with Call of Duty. Guess what? Never did buy that game, never played it, never gave them one iota of the dime. So why would I do it for Call of Duty and not for fucking Battle? Same deal. Oh, the Battlefield has never been a campaign. It doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. You know what? You know why you know what happened with Battlefield? Was because the Battlefield started making it about strictly multiplayer. Those campaigns that they put in Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 were fucking awful. You know why? They were forgettable because they were disjointed fucking social statement fucking missions that had no congruity, fucking characters you forgot about 5 seconds after the game started. This wasn't bad company level fucking campaigns. This wasn't even Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 3 level campaigns.
Yeah,
they were just tacked on to just say that we shut the guys up. We got to no, that wasn't a fucking campaign.
No, you're right about that. It's like a shortcut is what that is.
If they put a real fucking campaign in the game that was legit, it would have been a lot better. But no, putting in 4 hours of like these little fuck ass missions, no. Lots of games have been doing that. And you know what? Another culprit, Rainbow Six Siege. You can kiss my ass with your new, what is Extraction, your alien bullshit game. I ain't buying that shit with a 10-foot pole.
No.
Get back to fucking Vegas or make a real Rainbow Six game. Like, start making your games again the way they used to be. Like, bringing back the real Tom Clancy shit. Not this... I don't know if these friggin' freak show purple fucking pink ass gun games is all you're doing. Man, I get so tired of all these games turn into multiplayer trash is what they turn into. Like, let's just make the game for all the little kiddies and sell all of the fucking crap skins and shit. Like, make a game, man. Go back to Ubisoft is one of the biggest fucking companies and they're skimping out. And the fact that Splinter Cell hasn't even showed up again for how many years? Never had one last generation.
That shit wasn't coming.
Bro, no, this shit's getting old now. Ubisoft, man, you guys got to open your fucking ears and your wallets and either make something with Splinter Cell or fucking sell it to a company that will do something with it because it's getting annoying and it's getting stupid. I'm getting on a rant here.
Who was it that we had on the panel with us? And I told him, he was having a wet dream describing E3. God, it was like a few weeks ago. But anyway, that reminded me of that because, like, my most frustrating thing with Battlefield, they blow their load early. Like, the reveal of the next Battlefield, it was sick. It was awesome. Like, they're really good at telling you what you want to hear. And they're really good at showing you some slight clips and, some concept art and some, this is what we want the game to be. And then this most recent E3 reveal is just 10 times worse. And then on top of that, they tell you it's a $70 game. It's they don't say it's coming to Game Pass day one. What else did they? There's no campaign, and they just keep piling these things on. Like, that's a terrible showing. Terrible showing. You're not gaining. How many people are they gaining from revealing all that? That it's $70.
Well, you know what? Even like I said, I tacked that right off the list. And the reason why we're talking about Battlefield, I know we're kind of organically moving the conversation, but I brought up Battlefield because I'm not getting it. And you were talking about the Game Pass effect for like the fall and stuff. As it stands right now, and of course, we don't even know. Okay, we don't even know if Horizon Forbidden West is even coming out for the PS5 this year. Otherwise, Sony's got literally fuck all coming out for the rest of this year. Okay, so if let's just say theoretically that doesn't come out, the entire fall season, which is a shit ton of games, which I won't even get through until next summer, by the time I finish them all, is going to cost me $80. That is fucking lunacy. Because if I rewind the clock back to like 2014, 2015, 2016. The fall season would cost me $700 easily cost me $700, and I would have to save for the whole year. I would squirrel away $5 here, $10 there. I mean, obviously I could save more than that, but I'm just saying I would put away like because I was working in restaurants at that time, right, as the chef, and of course I used to get kitchen tips. So they used to give us kitchen tips at the end of the week or whatever. I'd squirrel away $5 here, $10 there, $20 here, $10 here. At the end of the year, I had a fat envelope full of cash, and guess what? It was fucking gone because it would cost me like $700 just for all the fall games. Now it's costing me $80. You tell me that this is not going to have an effect. Now, this is going to have an effect not only on the hardcore who buy mostly everything. This is going to have a major effect on the casual market who used to buy just Call of Duty and just Madden because they couldn't justify spending all that fucking money in something that they weren't really interested in. But guess what? You're going to turn some of those casual people going, I can get all this shit for this price? Fuck it, I'm in. And what does that do? Now it just opened your eyes to like literally hundreds and hundreds of games, and you're just going, holy shit, there's this, and you might turn that casual into a hardcore, or at least somebody who's at least a lot more interested in gaming. You realize that right now, I'm not kidding, right now that there's 600 games in Game Pass. 600. There was like 400 and something, I think, from the Microsoft area, and then add on to that, I think EA and whatever else. I'm pretty sure it was. I think Colt Eastwood was telling me it was like 600, and I didn't believe him. I said that's fucking crazy, but apparently it's true. So you're talking about that many fucking games. Someone correct me in the chat. I don't like to be completely wrong, but anyways, the point is that you've just opened up their eyes to all these other games. And they're like, I never played that. I want to try that. And all of a sudden they're going to try that. They never would have done that before if there was a paywall in front of it. Never. So the COD Madden crowd will start expanding their horizons. You know what I'm saying? And they'll see all these different things. And that's how you suck these people in. But anyways, the point of the story is, long story even longer, I'm paying $80 for the entire fall season, and I've never been happier.
This is why people hate Phil Spencer. He was the only one with the balls to go up to Satya, tell him to invest multiple of billions of dollars into Xbox so they can hit this, unrealistic, whatever it was, 2 billion gamers or whatever they said, right? I think that's what they said, the number that they wanted to hit of gamers in the world. But even if Microsoft never hits that 2 billion number of gamers, it's okay, because Game Pass subs, guess what? They're still skyrocketing, right? And those subs per month, it's just the only way you could possibly put this all together is you have to have a fat number of subs. And they got to. I'm thinking they're making money right now. They've been making money. I've always said. I've said since the beginning of Game Pass they're making money. It's just these $10 billion acquisitions of Bethesda. I mean, do you count that? Because going 10 billion back, it's going to take a while to earn that money back. At least in the Microsoft Game Pass range of its income or whatever. But that's the only way he's gonna make this happen is they keep getting subs, keep doing what they got to do, keep doing what they're doing. How long have Microsoft been doing the right thing for you? How long?
Well, they've been doing it for a long time for me. Yes, I mean they're hitting all the right cylinders. We wanted hardware, we got hardware, right?
Mm-hmm.
We wanted, better controllers. We got that. Adaptive controller. We got that. Accessibility. We got that. Improved dashboard. We got that. Like you name it. Almost everything fans have either cried for or mentioned, they basically delivered, Yeah. We complained about Halo. They went back. They fixed that. It looks a lot better than it did last year. Maybe largely because of our backlash. I don't know. But they've done a lot of things right. The only thing that's left for them to do, we've said this for about 2 years, is the games have eventually got to show up. You can't keep saying it's coming. Eventually you got to go, it's here. Okay. Like that's the thing. You got to deliver. Santa Claus got to come down the chimney eventually. So Microsoft has got to slide down that chimney. Sorry, I'm a lot out of breath. I've been running up and down the stairs, bringing my freaking kittens back upstairs.
Cats out of here.
Yeah, they got down in the basement. I don't want them down here because they're going to get into something or they'll go missing. I don't know, because there's fucking shit down here everywhere. So, but
Microsoft surrounded by pussy.
I am not quite the kind not quite the kind that gets me excited, but yes, it is pussy of some sort, and it's orange pussy too. It's like,
my god,
yeah,
straight from Ireland.
Well, I know. I feel like I'm surrounded by like Aloy and her twins.
Oh my god.
Oh shit. Oh man. Oh my god. But no, they've been doing well. Like they've literally been delivering. The only side is, and again, I suppose it's not a bad thing, but when it comes to Microsoft, the downside for me is because I'm not a Game Pass subscriber, at least yet anyway. is that because their focus has largely been more on a digital marketplace and the way that they're moving, is I've found less and less options for me as a physical buyer person. Like I walk in the stores now, it's not hard to see that PlayStation has far more copies of the biggest and best games than the Xbox ones, and the more obscure titles are even harder to get on Xbox because they're obviously not shipping as many, or the publishers choose not to ship as many because people are buying it digitally or getting it on Game Pass. So what I'm finding is my options are decreasing and decreasing and decreasing, and it's not a cool feeling. Especially when you look at, and especially when it's your favorite console, and like how many games did I not buy because I couldn't find a physical copy? And a lot of times I refuse to buy a copy of a game unless it comes out on physical disc. I even heard that Kena Bridge of Spirits apparently for PlayStation's not even getting a physical release. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm not buying that one.
Really? It's digital only.
Digital only.
Really? That's very bizarre. Why, I wonder?
It's weird as shit. I know. They got a petition up for that right now. Some people are asking for the physical copy. Yeah, it was really
How'd you find
weird.
that out? I mean, I was buying digital anyway because I could only get a digital PS5, so I have no choice. But
I saw it on Twitter somewhere.
Really? Fuck me. That's crazy. What a weird decision to make. Considering that actually PlayStation actually has a lot more physical sales than any except for Nintendo. Nintendo's number one.
Yeah.
But PlayStation outsells physical than the Xbox.
I hope that's absolutely wrong. It's a misprint and someone took it and ran with it. But I don't know. That's what I saw. I saw it's not getting a physical release. And I thought that's kind of weird because it is at least a timed exclusive. I saw some good news, though, when it comes to PlayStation from Walmart down in the US. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I guess some people managed to secure some copies of the PlayStation 5, but they ended up getting they ordered the digital ones, and I guess they didn't have enough allocations for the digital, so they upgraded a lot of the customers to the disc for free.
Oh, that's cool.
That was interesting.
Okay, I got it for you. It's actually, Noof, you're 100% correct. Kena Bridge of Spirits will be seeing a digital-only release, but the developer will make physical copies if the game does well.
Well, that kind of sucks. You guys better fucking go out and buy it.
What the fuck is that all about? But
they're trying to trap you into your own Newfonomics, man.
I'm going to buy all of my friends 20 or 30 copies of this game so I can get my physical copy.
So guys, the next giveaway on Gaming After Dark is going to be 400 copies of Kena Bridge of Spirits. Digital code only.
New buys 100 digital copies so you can get his physical one down the road. Yeah,
that is
win for me.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Noob starts up a GoFundMe for all physical collectors.
You know, it's actually funny. My $80 just went up to 120 because I forgot about Kena Bridge of Spirits because I really want it.
Yeah, the game looks good.
It looks fucking great, man. I just saw that and I fell in love with it the minute I saw it. I was like, wow, this looks really, really cool.
It does.
Yeah. And it's the price is right, baby. Half the price of like the regular PS5 game.
So just moving along, Titan, do you want to do the Drago's Corner now, or do you wish to just put it on hold for another week?
It didn't matter. Like I said, chat, I want to see you two go at it. What do you think, chat? What do you think? A Noof versus a Mag in my corner. Let me know.
Is it me versus Mag, or is it Tony Baloney versus one of my alter egos?
Whoever you want to bring to the table. Who do you feel like bringing to the table?
Why don't you get Noof? You got another topic?
Yeah, we got lots of topics, bro. We're gonna bring them in here.
Why don't you guys just talk for a little bit?
Yeah, there you go. Shit. Yeah, we'll get another little topic going up here. I know Tony Baloney is just about ready to take center stage, so let's find out. We'll come back with Drago's Quarter here
Well, he's gonna let me have it too tonight because of my Twitter shenanigans this week. So I can't imagine what he's gonna come up with tonight, Noof.
I'm interested to see. Hopefully he's got a full bag this time since he didn't have a chance to open it up and let go last week. The next topic, well, it is kind of a cool one. A lot of times buying a big expensive, 4K TV has been out of the question for a lot of people. This is one of the sort of deterrent factors for getting an Xbox right now. Like if you want a Series X or an S, well, especially if it's a Series X, the other part of the equation that most people forget to tell you about is in order to fully enjoy it at its best, you need the proper equipment, which means you basically need a really good TV or a monitor. Well, it looks like Microsoft is partnering with some people to bring you a bunch of Xbox monitors. So I'm guessing it's like obviously more like a PC monitor kind of deal.
It depends, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like?
Yeah, I've been reading through. So.
I love this topic because when
up with Philips, Asus, and Acer.
Yeah, when I went through the link, it had like a few that I had no idea existed. It's like a few legitimate, and they're different sizes too. One was a 55-inch, so that's not even a monitor. That's a freaking TV. It doesn't say what they are, like if they're LCD or whatever. Because when you say monitor, I think LCD. But when you say like gaming TV, I think OLED, QLED, whatever. I got a QLED right now. And I was kind of duped, and it's really mad. And I'm guessing they'll fix it in like a software update. But I didn't even before this gen. I didn't even know TVs had software updates, and they add legitimate abilities to each of them. I'm talking like an update can add HDR to your TV, or an update could add. It was all kinds of stuff.
Well, it looks like based on this article, and this comes to us courtesy of Xbox Wire, like Titan, they got one here, like a Philips Momentum 59. So what I'm thinking is here, like these are TVs that actually meet the Xbox required specs. So these are like TVs or monitors, whatever you want to call them, that are basically fully compatible with
fully
Xbox.
compatible. That's a good term. That's a good word to use because it takes care of everything that the Xbox has to offer.
Yeah, Dolby Vision. You got your HDR10, AMD FreeSync, all this stuff. So basically, is what they are. Is they're hitting all the check marks. Is when you buy one of these products, you're going to make sure that when you bring that home, it's going to work and it's going to look absolutely phenomenal with your Xbox. This Philips one is listed at $1,599 USD starting this summer. So that is quite the rig. Then the Asus String Xbox, that one looks good. Now that one is more of a gaming monitor. If you look at the way it's designed and stuff, and this one's a little bit smaller. I think this is 43 inches, still bigger than most computer monitors. So that one looks pretty cool. They got a bunch on this article, and I can share this, guys, with you as well if you didn't see it through the Twitter feed. So they got a lot. Acer has a 28-inch one here, VESA display, HDR 400. So that looks pretty cool. So it's interesting to see. And do you think, Titan, that this is the entry point now for Microsoft with these partners to start putting Game Pass loaded in the box?
Wait, say that again?
I said, do you think because of this announcement, remember how like Xbox more or less a few weeks back announced that Game Pass is basically going to start becoming on a Fire Stick or included with stuff? Do you think this is essentially what we're seeing now? Is that entry level to get into it, and potentially you don't even need an Xbox? You'll just have the best looking games on these particular TVs/monitors.
Well, yeah, because one of the biggest issues with tapping into this TV market is finding people that are willing to play ball with you, because a lot of them are in bed with other companies. So you got Sony, and they're when things like that happen, it's a mix. It's hard to make business deals like that. So this is a really good start, and I really liked the fact that they said that these were already developed with Microsoft. They were talking back and forth with them. And Microsoft helped them basically make these. What was it? I saw 3 on there. Were there any more than 3?
That's right.
I saw and they ranged in size too, which I really like. I'm just frustrated that the article didn't say what they were made of. That's really getting to me. Because I don't LCD TV.
Yeah. The one thing that strikes me here is not only winning away from Microsoft, but like for someone like Philips, who has been coming on strong the last few years, basically giving you a pretty decent level LCD, LED, whatever. Like I think they even have a range of OLEDs that are obviously a little bit more affordable than the competition. So, but basically, a decent entry level essentially. And I think this could be one of those tipping points that gets them a little bit more market notoriety. And probably a good pairing for them, because it'll start getting them into more homes where Xbox is the thing, and they're starting to see that gaming is a huge part of what's pushing these TV sales in the last couple of years. I mean, how many people went out and bought a 4K TV in the last couple of years? You didn't buy it for Netflix. You fucking didn't buy it for anything else. You bought it to play games. And I think these companies got to wake up and realize that this has to be a large part moving forward for them. A lot of their sales are driven by hardcore gamers now.
Yeah. And those TVs, they were $900 to $1,500. So that's quite the price gap, depending on what you want. But all of them from $900 to $1,500. The main difference was the size. There were some minor differences here and there between them, companies wise. But also, I got screwed by Samsung because they got this thing when I ordered my TV. I got a QLED. I don't remember what the model is, but it said it had FTP 240. And I looked that up, and supposedly if it's got FTP 240, then it's good for 100. It's good for a refresh rate of 120. And I went and did my check on my Xbox, and I do not have 120 FPS on my TV. And it said the Samsung site said it did have that, so that's really frustrating for me. But my next TV I'm gonna get, I'm definitely gotta make sure it's 120 FPS. Possible, because I can't believe I didn't think it was even going to be that big of a deal, but there are a ton of games coming out with 120 FPS. Noof.
Yeah, no doubt, eh? How about you, Mag? You got any thoughts about this sort of new partnership, this direction with some of these big PC monitor kind of companies, kind of deal?
It's just the beginning, man. This is the start of it. This is where it's all going to start, and it's going to keep branching out. This is the smart move. This is the wise move. And I mean, I missed most of your conversation. I was kind of off stage for a minute or two, but you know what? Like, this is where it's all going to start, man. And it's going to keep branching out, because why not? If you look at it, just like you're saying, who's actually fueling these purchases? It's gamers. You know what I mean? It's gamers, not the average. Actually, I know a lot of people who still don't have a 4K TV because they're like, well, I don't really need it. You know, my TV's like 1080p and it looks great and this and that. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And they're not into it, but we're the ones who drive the industry forward. We're the ones paying for that tech. We're the ones pushing it. Like, who else was buying 4K TVs 2 years ago, 3 years ago when they were $2,000? Us.
I bought my 4K TV simply because I bought the Xbox One X and it could do 4K.
I bought mine.
And I was like, I don't want to buy this console if I can't enjoy it in the way it's meant to be played.
I bought you're right, Noof. And I bought my 4K TV the same day that my Xbox One X showed up at my house. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we did it for that. Try to get someone to do that while they're watching Desperate Housewives. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to fucking do it. So, anyway.
Joe Dunmore said, Titan, you may have to use a different HDMI port on the TV. Joe, it's funny you said that, because I actually made a YouTube video, a little hint video, for that exact reason. My last TV was doing that, and it was because I was plugged in the HDMI 2. But if you go to HDMI 1, you get a lot more of the features, because a lot of TVs, I should say, do not have the same capabilities from HDMI 1 to HDMI 2 to HDMI 3. So that's a good point, Joe Dunmore.
Well, let me tell you guys something right here, right now. This Cletus here. I'm going to tell you right now, you got to get yourself a 4K TV, because let me tell you, there's nothing like watching that porno in 4K. I mean, my God, you could see the little goosebumps pimples down by her pussy. You could see if she's got fucking chlamydia almost. It's so clear down there. That's what I'm telling you right now. That's how you want to be watching the porn, when you can see up in the trenches and you know what you're getting into. Yes, sir. That's what I'm telling you. It looks like we got Tony Baloney on standby, so I'm going to shut my app and let him have the crap. Let's do it here, boys. Let's get her going. Let's go.
Let me tell you something. This is what's going to happen tonight, folks. I got only one grievance I need to get out of my system. When I'm done that, I'm going to go toe-to-toe with that clown Cletus, and we're going to have a little bit of a chit-chat tonight. We're going to see what happens in Titan Drago's Corner. So why not amalgamate a little bit of Tony Baloney and a little bit of Titan Drago's Corner? But first, before we get to the Titan Drago's Corner to finish off the show for this evening, I do have one complaint. And my one complaint is this. Guess who, asshole? Titan. Do me a favor, smartass. When you go on Twitter, what? Are you speaking when I'm speaking?
No.
Let me tell you something. Do not, when you go on Twitter, do me a favor. Post pictures of your kids. Post pictures of like Smite. Post picture, like do what Mag does. You know that middle-aged game guy? I like that guy. Let me tell you something. You know what he posts? He posts a picture of him with glasses, some of his achievements, and maybe some trophies, some nice things like that. But you, what do you got to do? No, you got to put a pic up of your pale, hairy, golem-like body okay? Sitting in a puddle of Shrek's piss with a goofy fucking smile on your face. It is utterly fucking ridiculous. All I can picture when I'm watching that, I can picture you going, Smite is precious. Titan. Titan. Ah, precious. Titan. Titan. That's all I can picture. And I'm like, what is this sweaty golem I'm looking at with a smile on his face? It's ridiculous. And by the way, the scarier thing is who took that fucking picture? Who is in the room with you? That's what I want to know. Tony Baloney needs to know who was in that room with you.
It was my wife.
Oh my God. You know what? She deserves an award just for being in the same room with you. It is unbelievable. My God. She deserves the Nobel Peace Prize for seeing you naked.
So Tony, is that a no sale for you then?
No, I'm flying her out to Geneva to get that Nobel Peace Prize after seeing you naked. It's unbelievable. Ridiculous. Anyways.
I bleed green, man. Xbox, man.
If he's bleeding green, he better go get that shit checked.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm leaking green, but that's gonorrhea. But that's a whole other story. But
maybe I split green. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Here we go. Actually, I got a question from the doctor. If you don't mind, I'm gonna get to that before we get to this Titan Drago's corner here. It's from the doctor. $5. He drops in the super chat. And he says, Tony B, I farted in bed, and my girlfriend said my asshole is the most disgusting place on earth. I'm really in the doghouse here. Any tips to get out? Let me tell you something. If she says that your asshole is the most disgusting place on earth, how did you ever expect her to lick it? That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you're that rank and that rancid, what you need to do is, I know you live in an apartment building, okay, or in a condo or whatever the hell you live in. Let me tell you something. When you have to fart, do yourself a favor. Get out of bed, walk outside, okay, and go fart out the back door on the patio, and then bring your ass back inside. And by the way, who the fuck said that in the chat there? Who was that? Put that back up, Noob. Who was that scumbag?
It was Axel.
Tony is so old, he looks like the Megasaurus. Let me tell you something, Axel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4.3, 2, 1, 5, 7, 3, 4 pi to the 7th power gaming. Ridiculous. Yeah, you're right. I am looking old. Okay, it's not my fault. Okay, I'm getting glasses. I'm getting old. Once you've been partying in the lounges since the 70s, shit happens to your body eventually, right? So, anyways, enough of that bullshit. So, let's get into Titan Drago's corner. See what happens tonight.
Real quick before we do that, I just want to say we scarred a guy for life whose name is Rectal Turbulence. Think about that for a second.
The only rectal turbulence I'm seeing is from the doctor.
All right, so Cletus, you ready? This is going to be the first week Titan Drago's corner. I'm not actually going to be in it. We've had a lot of...
You might have a chance to win.
Well, I can't lose. That's the most important part.
My whole life is on standby. I'm ready to roll anytime.
All right, this is excellent. So to remind everyone on the rules, I'm going to type in round 1 after the end of the first round. That's when you have your time to vote. Try not to do anything else so we can tally up those votes quickly in the first round. And when I hit end of round 1, that's going to be the end of the tallying. So round 1, we got Cletus, and we got this other guy.
Yes,
Tony, I think his name is. Right?
I'll tell you right now, that Tony Baloney, his fucking head when he takes that head off reminds me of my penis after I choke all the blood out of it.
Let me tell you something, Cletus. How do you even know what your penis looks like? It's too busy stuck in your stepsister's ass. And let me tell you something else while we're at it. You just said that that you're on standby. The only thing that's on standby in you is your fucking IQ. Anyways, you got anything else you'd like to say to Tony Baloney?
Yeah, what's in that pipe? Your mama's ashes? Because you seem a little pent up over there.
I was going to make a joke that was going to be completely inappropriate, but I decided not to get banned from YouTube for saying it. So my goodness, man, I'll tell you off the air because damn, it was a doozy. I would have won this right off the bat. But anyways, what were you saying? Something about my pipe? Well, you know what? It's better that I got a pipe in my mouth than a sheep's dick in my mouth, okay? Whatever you're not chasing. Let me tell you something else about Cletus, just so anybody knows. Cletus wears track pants. You know why? No, not because he has a fat waist. He wears pants because the sheep and the animals run away at the sound of a zipper in his house.
I gotta get back on that pipe. I just can't believe there's somebody in this day and age is still smoking one of them fucking things. Did you bore that off your Viking brothers or what? What the hell?
That's going to be the end of round 1. Everyone get those votes in the chat now.
All right.
You vote either Cletus, and here it goes, round 1, and go. Cletus, or Tony?
Sorry, I'm stretching my mouth.
All votes for Cletus.
Kind of like what Cletus's mother does every night.
And Tony. Round 1 is in. We got about 30 seconds to get those votes in. Titan just came back.
3 for Cletus.
Oh, Cletus made a huge comeback. We're going to give it about 15 more seconds. The votes are still coming in right now. I think that's
3-3.
Tony's on a little bit of roll. Damn, they go on rolls, don't they? A little bit of Tony, a little bit of Cletus, a little bit of Tony, a little bit of Cletus.
That was a good round.
5.
That was a great round.
3, 2, 1, and that is the end of round 1. I will get those votes in. You guys can go ahead and start up round 2, and I will go ahead and tally these votes.
Let us know when to begin.
And
go this time there, yeah, shiny ass bastard. You can have the floor. You get it going, eh?
Well, yeah, of course we'll get going. Let me tell you something. You know, I don't like that. This is kind of like taking candy from a baby, or maybe the ending of Step Brothers. You know, when Will Ferrell and then the other guy are beating the shit out of all those little kids. It's the same thing with Cletus. Because I mean, you know, what kind of a competition is this? It's an IQ of like 200 versus an IQ of like maybe what 2. It's unbelievable. I don't even know why I'm even doing this. I could literally just sit here silent with the pipe in my mouth, and I'll still win. That's what's going to happen. Titan, I want to see those numbers at the end of this because I think it's all fixed. It's got to be fixed. Tony Maloney does not lose. What?
Tony, you're going to lose your mind here. I'm putting it in the chat right now. The round, for the first time, was a tie. Someone's going to have to punch harder. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something.
Right now. You go ahead. Yeah, you smoke that fucking pipe. You come on now, bring it.
That's all you got to say? Something about my pipe?
No, I got nothing about your pipe. I'm going to tell you right now, you look like you're so fucking ancient that you get in the bed, and the only way that you get to the fucking orgasms, you're wearing that fucking, what you call it, them, what the hell is it, them fucking, them pants, you know, them fucking ones, the corduroy pants. That's it. That's how he gets off in bed. He scrapes his corduroy pants and makes his jizz in there. Because the guy, I think he makes his jackets out of his grandpappy's old couches. They probably smell like piss, vinegar, and fucking cat shit.
Well, let me tell you something, Cletus. You know why nobody tells you that you're old? Because the things you fuck don't speak. They usually just go like this. Meh, meh, moo, moo. So they're not going to tell you that you're looking old.
Round 2, everybody. End of round 2.
Come on, man. That was that last one. Come on.
Round
Come on.
2.
Come on, Chad. That was good.
Go.
If I see one Cletus in there, I'm going to fucking lose it. The doctor, I don't know, but it's funny. What the fuck? Yeah, thanks, dude. Kylo Milo, you are banned from the show.
Right now, it's a tie between me and Cletus. Here we go.
It's a Tony parade.
Oh, Tony's coming in on a roll. He's still on a roll. About 10 more seconds to get your votes in for round number 2.
Chase Jones banned.
Either way, it's gonna come down to a bottleneck. 3, 2, 1, and that is the end of round 2.
Finally, Dreadpool comes through. Scumbag always votes against me.
He always votes against me too. Now you know how it feels. He voted for you when we were against each other every round.
Yeah. I called Dreadpool the Jesus of Florida.
Yeah.
With that fucking hair and the beard.
All right. No matter what I'm going to go ahead and tally those up, but no matter what, we're still going to have a round 3, and this could, the votes at the end of round 3 could decide the winner of this. So whoever wants to start, go ahead. Round 3 and ding ding.
Well, let me tell you something, Cletus. I'm not even going to let you speak. You know why? Because there's no point. Because the only thing that's going to come out of your mouth is fiddly diddly, go fuck yourself. That's what's going to come out of your mouth, you know? So now Tony Maloney's going to stop you right there. And let me tell you something else. You got that moonshine? Do yourself a favor with that moonshine. Drink it until you don't wake up. That's the best idea that I can think of. Other than that, that's it. I mean, what do you got? It's you, the livestock, your sister, and that's your entire love life. You got the moonshine and a whole lot of fiddly diddlies. And you know what's going to happen? One of these days, you're going to run out of food. You're going to have to kill all those animals. And guess what? You're going to be fiddly diddling yourself because there's going to be no one left to fuck.
Yeah, fiddly diddly dude. Yeah, you did well. You sure got
creepy fucking dude.
I can't even.
I can't. It was like, what the fuck are they laughing at, man? I'm dying. Oh my god.
I'm fucking crying.
Cletus, would you
Oh,
why do you gotta start every fucking sentence with that, man? Go ahead.
Shit.
That's it. I'm fucking calling it. Ding, ding, ding. It's a TKO. We have a TKO. The first one in Drago's corner.
Oh, I'm
We
done.
got a TKO,
Oh, fuck.
everybody. I'm calling it.
Oh. Oh shit, dude! I'm fucking in tears over here. Oh fuck, that was funny. Oh goddamn!
God.
Oh man, you made me sweat on that one.
Fucking,
Oh,
I'm
my
sweating
God.
just laughing at you two, man.
Oh,
the
my
minute he
God.
said fiddly diddly, just after I fucking I fucking lost it, man. I lost character. I lost everything.
I don't give a fuck what you're still gonna say.
Oh man! Oh shit!
I think I just burned more calories just laughing right now than I did all day today.
Dude, yeah, I'll give you the TKO on that one. You broke Cletus. I don't know what the fuck happened there.
Dude, you broke me.
Oh fuck! You left him speechless.
That was fucking priceless,
Jesus.
man.
Oh my god!
Fucking Axel in the chat. As soon as I threw the hat off, he goes, "Holy shit, I'm blind. Put your hat back on."
Oh yeah. Oh, great stuff, guys. I
Yeah.
hope you enjoyed that. That was totally fucking impromptu. Like shit.
Hey, it was also Axel in the chat. He was the one, having the wet dream over. It was Axel.
Oh my god.
Good.
Hey,
seeing you,
don't worry, Axel. You're gonna get your chance to be on the show here, like pretty damn soon here, bro. So
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Axel, would you want to join Titan Drago's corner for me? Would you want
to
to do
bring
that
him in here?
when you come on? Let me know in the chat.
Oh shit,
my
man.
God! Well, Jesus.
Yeah, I think we're gonna give that one to the old champ over there. It's Tony Baloney, I think. He broke the fucking internet there. He even stopped Cletus. Is usually never short of something to say, but I think Cletus swallowed the last two teeth he had in his head. I think that's what happened there.
Oh my god.
And then he farted in the corner and he ate him again. He thought it was chiclets.
Jesus.
Oh shit, man. Oh, Fastback is ducking in his bed over there right now. Oh shit. All right. Well, that's going to bring us to the end of the show. We're going to leave off on a high note. This was one hell of a return. So big, obviously, thanks to you guys in the chat. You're amazing. I saw who else was in here earlier. Some people that didn't acknowledge. You guys are fantastic. Trendkill Will, thanks for being here. I'm not sure if you've been here in the past, but I greatly appreciate you being here. Good to see some new faces and lots of the old people. Princess Zelda's been in the house. The doctor, of course, we can smell that stench anywhere. Lloyd C, what's going on? Spider-Man, Dreadpool, Infinite, Jesse Darby, Rectal Turbulence, Chase Jones, the list goes on. Axel 1324, we saw Eternal Should Die. We saw Cool Cat Terry up in here. Timothy Dixon is in the house. Doggy Dog, of course. The list goes on. Great turnout tonight. I think we had over 70 odd people watching. The likes right now, the likes to one down thumb. So that's pretty damn good. Maybe somebody just didn't like the outcome of that versus. I don't know.
There's one solid person that doesn't like this show that keeps watching.
That's it. It's probably that fucking Lars fucking dude that shows up, and every time I do a podcast and the replay goes up on YouTube, he always Xbox Sentinel Games. Lars Peterson, I think it is.
I know that dude's
canoe.
Twitter handle because of his picture. It's of what's his name? God damn it, the tall motherfucker that's in all the funny movies. I'll remember in a second.
Jim Carrey?
No. Never mind. I'll remember in a second.
The funny fuckers in all of the yeah. He's got a picture of somebody. I don't know who it is. But anyway, it's all good. Yes, down counts bounces of you. Yes, I suppose you're right there, Philly. That's a great way to put it. The show's priceless. It's something. We don't know what it is, but all right, we're going to let everybody get out of here again. Big thanks to the chat. You guys are fantastic. Let's get over to our fantastic panel, the middle-aged game guy. Hey, man, we're only like 5 minutes past the 2-hour mark, so we did pretty good.
Not bad, not bad. You know what the thing is? 2 hours flew, man. And even just the three of us just shooting the shit, talking. We had a great time tonight. Everything was nice. We had good topics, good show, great chat as always, guys. You know where you can find me? You can find me right here every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. You can find me on Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard on Primetime Gaming with Mr. Boomstick and XL and friends. And I will not be doing any guesting until the middle of July. And I believe my next guest appearance will be on the BRAP, the Basement Radio Arcade podcast, sometime in July, mid-July. I'm taking a little break from doing the other shows because, man, it's a lot, and I got a lot of stuff to do. So, but anyways, guys, Titan, Noof, you guys are the fucking best, man. And this is honestly such a great show, such a great vibe. And we'll see you guys all next Tuesday night.
Indeed. At some point, hopefully, we'll do another giveaway. Certainly can't wait for you to do one, Meg, because I always love you saying that line. And standard edition only.
Oh, yeah. We are going to be giving standard editions of Kena Bridge of Spirits, left, right, and center.
Just for old Noob.
We'll probably have to do some digital giveaways on that just because now, honest to God. Speaking of giveaways, though, courtesy of Crazy Greek Dude, as a matter of fact, he is actually going to give us a 6-month Game Pass to give away. One of these shows here, so I'm going to have more follow up on that. So,
why hasn't that fraud been on?
You know what the thing is too? 6 months of Game Pass right now. That is like $1,000 worth of games that are coming out.
Think about it, that's crazy.
Between now and December, you're getting almost every fucking banger that's coming out, including like Hades and all these other games coming. Holy shit, man, that's a fucking deal.
Yeah. So I think how we're going to do it probably for next week, at least I'm thinking at this point, and I will update everybody on it. But what I'm thinking is probably everybody that comes out to next week's show, everybody in the chat is going to get entered into the draw, and then we're going to do the like Graphic God used to do, the old Wheel of Wonder. We're going to bring out the old spinning wheel, fire it up on the show kind of deal, and select a winner from that. I think that's how we'll probably roll.
Legit.
But anyway, yes, legit. All right, let's get over to Titan Drago. It was good to have you back in the saddle, back on the podcast. Like I said, it's been a couple weeks for all of us, but this was a hell of a show tonight. Everybody just came out firing. Sometimes you need to take a step away just to get. And I wasn't sure how I'd be tonight, but I think I held my own, so that's good. But anyway, Titan, let people know where they can at least catch up with you, chime in or chirp in. We're in the old Twittyverse.
I started to unlock my videos. I'm re-unlocking my videos and re-putting them out to the world. I'm unlocking my channel. So if you guys want to check out one of my old parodies, you can go ahead and do that. I'll probably unlock the rest of it tonight.
Yeah, we need more of those.
But yeah, man, this summer, just to let you guys know, this summer may be crazy because we just got back from a vacation down in Georgia. We found a really great area that we really like, and we're probably going to move down there this summer. We'll see how that goes. So it's this summer may be crazy with my attendance or whatever, but just know that it's not for anything else other than we might be moving, and we've got another vacation here coming up in a couple weeks. So I believe I'll be able to take a laptop with me and still make the show, but we'll see. A lot of this is going to be up in the air over this summer. Depending on a lot of that. But anyways, as for my Common Sense Award winner of the week, we got Joe Dunmore for turning Jim Lion Ryan's words against him so elegantly and with the quickness. Thank you, Joe, for bringing the common back to sense.
There you go. Come on and get down with the quickness. Joe Dunmore is down with the quickness. All right. And you guys know where to find me, always in the gutter. Yes, it's Boom Boom Kaboom Noof Nukem is leaving the room once again. We'll be back here in the same place, same time next Tuesday, guys. It's going to be a fun podcast. Like I said, I'll keep you posted on the giveaway and all that stuff. And outside of that, guys, Good Morning Xbox this Sunday as well. We're also going to be giving away a 6-month Game Pass code courtesy of Crazy Greek Dude on that show as well. Again, details coming up here probably this week. So I'll give it to New, Spider-Man says. Give it to myself. That's funny. But yeah, that's it for us for this week, guys. We hope you enjoyed the show. Good to see so many people come back and couldn't wait for it. We had people to send us messages how much they missed it. So that makes us feel good about what we're doing. And as long as we can make some of you guys smile. Oh, by the way, just shout out to Leonidas, good friend from the Gaming Beyond the Box. Apparently, I think his mom just passed away. So shout out to Leonidas. Our prayers and thoughts are with you, and our serious condolences. So you'd hate to see anybody in the community go through go through shit and all that stuff like that. And I know I'm going to take flack for this one too, because I know some of you guys don't like him. But shout out to Saltiest Gaming. I know he's been going through some stuff, and he came back. So just good to see Salt up and at him, and seemed like he's feeling a bit better. So shout out to you, Salty. Hope you're doing well, man. Like I said, it's all about game, man. It's about having fun. So the hate can go elsewhere, man. Just have fun, live life, because it's too short. So take care, everybody. I think that's it for us. Any final words, or we're good to go?
No, that's it, man.
All
See
right,
you guys all
guys.
next week.
See you next week. Take care, everybody. Peace out.